Now we're live. Let me see. Hold on. I forgot to add this. Okay, now it should be good.
No, we're making.
There we go.
All right, we good.
Yeah, we're good. Oh, oh, for fuck's sake. Hello everybody. Impromptu new thing I'm trying out. We're just going to be talking fighting games today with a good old friend Gail. So
Hey, yo, how you guys doing?
would you like to introduce yourself to the chat?
Oh, yeah, sure. Yo, chat, my name is Gil Dude, but I go by Gil by short. I am a variety streamer. Usually like to play hard games, RPGs, action games, especially action games. And yeah, I was just here to talk with my good old friend over here, Daenerys, and we're just gonna talk about some fighting games.
Yeah, it's been a minute since the last time we talked. I think it was June of last year. Which
Damn.
Yeah, the last time we were like together on a stream was when we were doing the tier list for the Street Fighter themes, like for the first year anniversary, which we're close to the second now. And Elena's theme just came out, so that's that for next time.
Oh my god, okay. Just had to say that the song is actually pretty good. It's surprisingly good for Street Fighter 6, in my opinion.
They actually run with the beats in my head to beats in my heart and my
Beats
heart
in my heart.
for the title. That's great.
It's so good. I love it. Well, okay, I do have a little bit of like grievances with it. Wait, should we talk about this?
Yeah, fuck it. Let's start with that. This is fighting game hour. We're talking.
Okay,
about it. Fuck it.
all right. So, okay, I do have a little bit of grievance with it. The song is good when it hits to the drop. When she starts talking about her beats in her hearts and like the freaking jazz music kind of kicking in. Oh my god,
Yeah.
absolutely phenomenal. Then it gets to the point where it's like background elevator music. It keeps.
Oh,
I don't know what's with Street Fighter 6 doing that, but they love their elevator music.
It's the Rashid problem.
It is, but the part when it is actually the singing and everything when the flow is good. Oh yes, I love it. I think it's a really good song, and I would love it to just be mostly just that part. Like,
Yeah.
it's so good.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like, it is crazy because Terry's team, Terry and Pow Pow Cafe, I believe, yeah, really good songs.
Yeah.
Though I think that's because they wanted to keep it more into the SNK thing instead of their weird Capcom elevator music that they're going with. I should call it elevator music. I feel like it's kind of be mean, but
It's a bit mean, yeah, but to be fair, at the very least with some of them, not all of them, I can kind of agree with. Like, Akuma is not that, it's more of a traditional Japanese theme, if that makes any sense. It's more traditional than anything. And with Aki, it's kind of the same thing, but with a little bit of Dragon Ball inspired over there. I still stand by the fact that at a certain point of that theme, it sounds like a Super Saiyan 3 theme. Like, no joke, it's just that. And I love it for it.
Wait, which team?
Aki's.
Aki. Did they have? I'm trying to remember. It's been a second since I heard her theme. Yeah, I can kind of see it. It's been a long time since I heard her theme.
But, yeah, we might need to.
Not many people play her.
Yeah, we might need to do a little refresher. Plus, Aki, to be fair, it's a very complicated character. It's
Yeah.
It's one of those that I'm not willing to actually just go out of my way to try out because I feel I'm going to get overwhelmed the hell and back.
Yeah. Speaking of which, how are you? Okay, so it's been a while since Street Fighter 6 came out.
Yeah.
You still feel about Street Fighter 6 the way you did back then?
I don't even remember what I told you back then. But I'll be real with you, Chief. Street Fighter 6, it has a good reason for, but the content when it comes to Street Fighter 6 is very slow. So, at the very least, compared to other fighting games like, say, Tekken or Mortal Kombat, they are really behind. Like, at this point, we should be already finished with Season 2 and get the teaser for Season 3, if there is any. I feel.
What, you mean you don't like
that.
all the Avatar costumes?
The avatar costumes are not what I'm here for. Like, yeah, they are cool. I appreciate the references to other, say, SNK characters in the Terry Pass and the My Pass, and the Street Fighter 3 characters in this one that is just, I think, available now. But yeah, no, I'm not here for the costumes. I'm here for the fighters and maybe the costumes for the fighters.
No, that's fair. I absolutely agree. I just had to make that little joke because honestly, I don't know. The avatars have to be selling well because they keep making it. They have not stopped.
I mean,
I
yeah, I guess so.
It's so weird. Though I will give it to them. World Tour and pretty much Street Fighter 6 itself has probably been the best single player Street Fighter game that's been made in a good while. Like the content is there. They give you a lot to do. They give you customization for your characters.
And
the fact that they even and the fact that they give you your characters, you know, the ability to change it to like use different movesets from the other actual existing characters.
Yeah.
I see why they do. I see why they're pumping out the avatar.
Yeah, the avatar stuff is to compensate the fact that every time they release DLC characters, there is free content for the avatar to just play around.
Yep.
So I'm guessing
that's
go back
to World Tour.
Yeah, it's always a good reason to just go back to World Tour and try out new stuff there. That's another thing I believe that it's just making the characters to come out way later because they not only need to worry about what the character is going to be doing, they need to worry about how to implement it to the avatar and what the story or the reason for them to be there is. Like, what's the reason for Elena? What's the reason for Terry? What's the reason for Mai? It's just, why are they there? Why can't we just visit them and why can't you just interact with them? Sometimes it's very simple, sometimes it's not, but hey, it is what it is.
It is, and I'll give it to them for that because, you know, considering like Tekken and other fighting games, usually they don't really give you too much of the background story with the characters. I mean, sure, you might get like a little arcade mode, yeah, even if all. But Capcom is literally going out of their way to make a whole story and have them interact with other characters sometimes, depending on the characters.
Yeah.
And fleshing out their like actual background story into the modern era.
Although, to be fair, this is the first time ever in a mainline Street Fighter we have actual crossover characters. Like, this is the first time ever. So, might as well go ham with it, that you have one of the biggest single-player content a fighting game can offer. Because that is what World Tour is. And it's loaded with content, references, and all of that. It's insane.
Oh, absolutely. Honestly, yeah, they go ham on the reference. Even with like Terry and them, they went ham on the reference. Like apparently, Terry's animation for his level 3, where he's kind of spreads his arm out to side to side.
Yeah.
Was actually from the old SNK Fatal Fury movie.
Yeah.
Like they do references like that all the time.
Yeah, they reference a lot of stuff.
So
the moves for Terry, the music. Hell, the fucking introduction for Terry, it's there's a new event on town, the KOF, and Terry just shows up because there's people fighting in here. The price the price is I think it was a free meal on the newly inaugurated Pau Pau Cafe branch on Metro City, so that's that too.
Yeah. See, as I said, they went so ham on the story mode and the fact that... Wait, was it? Yeah, okay, yeah, no, this is right. My brain is so much right now because of all the stuff that's going on. But yeah, I do. Okay, yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's the fact that they went out of their way to do stuff like that to make the story compelling. And it's just DLC. It's free DLC, pretty much, to give you a chance even to test the characters.
Yeah, for the story, it's free. If you want to do it, play the characters online, arcade, and everything else, you need to pay. And you get the free alt costume if you want, if you dedicate yourself enough to the character there.
Yeah, because you gotta get their friendship up so you can get their second costume.
Yep. Which is mostly the retro costume for most characters, except for the new ones.
Yeah, it was actually their newer outfits because Terry has his old one and Mai has her old outfit. But if you do the DLC, or if you do the story, you get their more current era outfits.
Yeah, like Terry is still like base Terry is his classic outfit from Fatal Fury. The alt costume for Terry it's Garou.
His Garou outfit.
Terry. Yeah. So technically he gets the older costume. Which it's fair. They do that in KOF all the time.
Oh yeah, no, I love his bomber jacket. I'm thinking about switching that to that look actually myself for my character. But yeah, I love his outfit.
Yeah.
I was gonna say though, going back to what you were saying about Elena, or how pretty much it's taking forever for us to get to the next season. I think we all know the reasons why it's taking so long now.
Yeah.
Because of the Switch 2. They're bringing it.
That Switch port.
Bringing out Street Fighter to the Switch 2.
That Switch port is going to throw so much shit to it. Like, what the fuck is the point for the cards? Like, they're launching Street Fighter 6 on Switch. That's cool. But they are also doing this little campaign for amiibo cards for Street Fighter 6 with all the characters from the release of the game to all the characters from Season 1. And I don't get it. What's the point of those to be amiibo cards? Like,
because Nintendo loves their gimmicks.
I know they love their gimmicks.
What about Nintendo?
What are they going to do with those? Do those just unlock a fucking alt color for the main costume? Do they work on World Tour or what?
So Nintendo probably has them. I feel like Nintendo probably kind of like edged them towards the idea of making amiibos, but since it's going to be handled by Capcom, I'm assuming it's probably going to be colors. That's the only thing I could think of is colors.
Yeah,
because I can't imagine it actually affect being used gameplay wise. Because imagine if you had instant Sonic Boom because you had the Guile freaking
no,
or some crap like that.
It will be crazier if you get like the Tekken Tag 2 treatment. They give fucking Street Fighter characters Nintendo related costumes, like say Ryu on a Mario outfit or fucking Kang on a little Mac outfit or something like that.
That would be very freaking cool.
Actually,
unfortunately, it's because it's got crossplay. That's the only reason why I see I can't do that.
I mean, yeah, true. Because that should be content exclusive stuff. But they already have the cards for it, which is weird.
Yeah. It has to be like, if they do implement it, it has to be like something like alt colors. That's the only thing I can think of.
I mean, if they can implement an alt color exclusive to Nintendo, they could easily also do a costume. Because the card has to do something. It's an amiibo card. If it wasn't an amiibo card, it'd just be just a fucking card, collectible card.
I mean, people like collectibles. I mean, you see people fighting on the street like bare knuckle brawl for Pokemon cards.
Yeah, so I'm not gonna deny that. Yeah, that's true. But yeah. Also, speaking of Elena, I have a theory. If you check the battle pass, right? Yeah. Which character from Street Fighter 3 are not there? There is at the very least 2 that come to mind that are not there. And there is a possibility for those characters to still be there. There's still hope for those.
Are we talking about how they did the little the Mii fighters? That's like makes it so that these characters are not going to Smash kind of thing that they did.
I mean, that's
with avatars.
Yeah, that's my reasoning because so far
no Remy.
We are 2 seasons in, and we got items from other Street Fighter characters before too. Like we got C-Viper's glasses. If I remember correctly, we don't have anything from Abel, but to be fair, what can you get from Abel? It's just fucking generic judo practitioner. So it's
his armband. Yeah, you're right. I don't know.
The armbands, maybe like the gloves. The gloves look cool.
He was very generic.
But yeah, why we got just simple things, like just one detail from those characters. But here we got straight up the characters granted, some of the characters have in-game that items that you can just purchase in the game, in the stores.
Yeah.
But still, it's kind of weird that we can have
Confirmed.
Hugh, Dudley, Remy, Oro, and I think I saw Yun and Yang.
Oro. Yeah.
So yeah, we
they
have
were pretty
those...
much technically deconfirmed.
Yeah, those
allegedly.
Allegedly, those 6 are out of the picture. Allegedly.
Yeah.
So.
I'm kind of sad. I was hoping Remy would come back.
That leaves 2 of the fan favorites from Street Fighter 3 to come back. 3 if you count Alex. Makoto and Ibuki.
Okay.
So those 3.
I thought you said favorites. Okay, let me stop.
Everybody loves the shit out of Makoto and
Makoto, sure.
Ibuki.
Ibuki?
Yeah.
Buki? Ill Buki? What about...
No. Just no.
Alright, no, okay, I'll be salty. I want Sean. I haven't seen anything with Sean. So I'm hoping he'll come back.
Sean?
Sean for...
Yeah, I didn't saw anything from Sean, so there's still a chance for him and Hugo too. Which is weird.
And Hugo would be kind of cool.
And Poison, now that I think about it
I
too.
think, I don't know if stickers were deconfirmation, so maybe Dudley has a chance? Because
no, Dudley has a costume. Dudley has, at the very least,
they gave him a costume?
thing. At the very least, a thing from the Battle Pass, because they showed Dudley cosplay there.
That sucks. Oh man.
Me too. I absolutely would love to see him here, but whatever.
Fracking okay.
Urien, I forgot about him too. Like we don't have it. Well, to be fair, what can you give me from fucking Urien outside of his fucking suit
you get the,
from 5?
You get the underwear. You get the
the Fundoshi is not worth it, bro. The fucking Fundoshi is not worth it.
Yeah, that's the only thing you really get from. Maybe you could get his hair. Technically, I don't know. No, I don't know. It's
hairstyle is the only thing they haven't played around with, which is weird.
Yeah.
Because the most you can get out of it, it's usually a hat, not a hairstyle, which is weird. You will think that at this point they will just give you more hairstyles too, but. I guess
to be fair, they got a crap ton of hairstyles, so it's probably easy to make the one that you want.
Pretty much.
Like the customization, they went ham on. Yeah, there's nothing you can really get for Uranian. So, hey, at least there's a chance of him coming back. I know he's been a fan favorite forever.
He was on Street Fighter 5, so there's still a chance for him to come back. Gil too.
And Gil. Be a good boss character. Q was deconfirmed, but G was not. So hey, we got a chance for G. I like G.
G was one of the standouts from the DLC characters on 5. Same with Minao.
Yes, he was freaking Michael Jackson president, man.
Yeah, I
loved him.
President of the world. They made a fucking big deal out of him too.
They did, but they did nothing with him. So I'm hoping that he'll come back.
Yeah, me too.
He seemed like he was gonna be like the antagonist of freaking Street Fighter 6, but they decided to.
We got JP, which is, to be fair, the better one. Because the only one that saw him as an actual true antagonist was Rose, and she's nowhere to be seen here. So yeah.
But she saw into the heart of G, so she knew what was actually. Or did she see the heart, or she saw the future? Either way, she saw what trouble he would cause.
Yeah, she saw something.
So she knows. Minette, they can bring her back. I know, not my favorite, but I know a lot of people loved her. A lot of people love Minette.
I mean,
is that her name?
At this point, I'm inclined to believe that it could be anyone. Because if you really think about it, outside of me, I don't know many people that actually cared about Ed. And he was DLC 1.
I loved Ed!
I loved Ed.
He was my favorite character. But did they change the style? And I still love him, but I can't play him now, and I'm sad.
You know what's funny? They say that his old self, like Street Fighter 5 Ed, it's still modern mode Ed on Street Fighter 6. I still have to test that out. But if that's true, then Ed's still the normal Ed.
I don't feel like that's quite true, because you still have 6 buttons in old Street Fighter. Yeah, his moves are modern, but he still had his kicks. They took his legs, man.
Yeah,
they took his legs.
They made him an actual boxer. They made him an actual boxer.
It's like even if I don't agree with the change, I had to say he's still cool. I like what they did with him.
I love
just
what
can't
they
play
do
him.
with him. Yeah. Hey,
Just
I'll give it a
unfortunately
shot.
from a close
I'll grind out if it's for Ed. It looks cool. They made him better. Now it's viable. It's just worth it. Just worth it. But yeah, no. At this point, I am inclined to believe that the popularity of the character, it's a factor, but it's not 100% the thing that will put him in. You know, like
yeah.
So there's also a lot of like missing representation from other games. Like, yeah, we got Street Fighter. The Street Fighter 2 cast is entirely here, except for maybe Fei Long and the bosses. Except for Bison. Bison is here. So, except for Fei Long,
did we ever talk about that?
The what? Bison and Heihachi just coming back.
Yes.
Yeah, like
I don't remember if we talked about it. I was not a fan. I'm gonna say it right now.
I mean, I'm not against a boss coming back, but just put him away of the story. What they did with Bison, it's kind of all right because at the end of the day, he's not Bison technically. He's a shadow of his former self, but still, it's Bison.
He still has his personality. That's the thing. That's the problem. He still wants to be all might makes right, strong world, I'm dictator, without actually saying it directly. He's still Bison.
He's still the power.
I kind of wish they would change him.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wish they changed his personality at least a little bit. Like they don't have to make him like super friendly, Bison, Roger on the street. I don't know, but they could have just changed his personality a little bit, man. They could have made him like almost like a wanderer, kind of like how Ryu is. Except now he got the old Neo Shaolin just constantly chasing him.
Yeah. Like
they could have just went that path.
Yeah. Like in the arcade mode for Bison, Jury states that that's not the same Bison. So if that's kind of bullshit, but I'm inclined to believe her. Because why would Bison of all people actually agree to train you? Like, he's literally willing to actually train us in his martial arts, in Psycho Power. Bison.
Okay, if we're ignoring story, or if we're ignoring gameplay wise to make a reason, you got a point.
Yeah, gameplay. I'm ignoring gameplay at this point because the reason why these people coming back is awful. It's more story related. This is a fighting game. We've been. Fighting games for years have brought back characters that canonically have died, that canonically have disappeared, or that just don't want or can't fight anymore. Gen is an example.
True.
Gen is an example. Bro should be dead, but he's still here.
If they bring him back, I swear to God.
KOF for years have made games called Dream Matches, where everybody, dead or not, are back. You want to play as Mega Rugal?
Not canon.
He comes back, but that's not canon, right? That's the point. It shouldn't be canon. That's the point. That's why everybody
they definitely shouldn't make canon.
That's what I think everybody is mad about. They shouldn't be canon. If you want to bring people back, fuck it, do it. I don't care. It's one of my favorite characters. I love to play. For example, Nash. I fucking love Nash on Street Fighter 5. If he comes back,
I like it.
I will be super happy. Just don't make it canon. That's all I'm asking, because there is no reason for him to be back. Granted, his sacrifice was fucking pointless, but still, don't put him through that again, please.
No, he needs to stay dead. I mean, yeah, they bring like a dream match and stuff like that, sure. But story-wise, he should probably stay dead. If they bring him back, in a strange way, I won't be mad because they brought Bison back. So at this point, I'm just like, whatever.
Also, if we're being honest here, the worst example of old boss that should be dead coming back, it's Heihachi. Like,
Heihachi still okay.
He literally got saved by plot armor. Like, fuck you.
Bro,
what is that monk
no one's seen?
Right in the mountain where fucking Kazuya and Heihachi are fighting and literally making that shit wake up? Why is that monk?
Kiryu was looking over the goddamn mountain. He should have seen that monk grab him.
Jesus Christ.
You know what? Even if they did bring him back, I'm gonna say it. They should have kept good man.
Yeah, if they wanted to bring him back, I'm fine with that. If they wanted to bring him back, yeah, keep him good, Heihachi. Keep the amnesia. That was fucking good.
At least for one game. Yeah, I was fine with it. I was fine. You know, okay, he's good Heihachi. He's fine with his inner demons or his past. You know what? Let's just keep that there. Let's make that a story element.
Plus, I like the fact that everybody was just super wary about. In any moment, this guy is going to come back and it's going to hurt like a bitch. And everybody was right to believe that. I would have loved to just prove them wrong for once.
Oh my.
It would have been nice to just see nice Heihachi for once, but it will throw off every fucking body.
I would have been fine with that.
Because
they got Reina, so she could have been the evil Heihachi. The Heihachi, Mishima.
Yeah. I mean, she still was. So well. She still is. Yeah. She's just fucking gremlin.
Now we know she's just being heavily manipulated by Heihachi himself. So
yeah.
It sucks. They could have did something. You know what? In a weird way, at this point, I would have been fine if he somehow magically survived the lava. I would have been fine with that.
I mean, yeah.
Man, I think I would have rather him survive the lava and lost his memory because he was in freaking lava.
How old is Heihachi? How fucking old is
he like in his 90s at this point?
Bro, on 90 years old, survive what? Fucking 8 or 9 Jack 6 or Jack 7 exploding on top of him, blowing the fucking mountain out. Bro, survive that. Yeah, no, bro can survive lava. Bro can can swim on lava for a bit and just be fine.
As I said, I would have been fine with it. I mean, okay, here in another way to think about it, he was fighting toe to toe with Devil Kazuya.
Mm-hmm. He was
so
but yeah.
But you know what powered him up?
Fuck up.
He got mad. That's his power up, man. He can survive lava.
Yeah.
I need more Heihachi. That's what he did to get stronger.
But yeah, he was keeping up with fucking Kazuya in full power and still.
He gave that man PTSD.
The entire family PTSD. Like fucking Jin is still. Jin is still there. He might be apologizing for almost taking over the world in a war.
Start World War III.
Fucking almost starting World War III. But still, he has the PTSD too from Heihachi. It's not safe. It's just son of a bitch.
It's so weird. It's. I know people are like, it's just a fighting game. Who cares? But I don't know. Maybe I'm just. There's people. We're out there. We want story. We want lore. We want consistent lore. Damn it.
Look, man. There is a few points about characters that can call us out for us to just play them. One of them is the design. The other might be the backstory. A good backstory can just put a character that it might not be appealing to you, but the story is actually kind of good, so you stick around because you like their personality. Thanks to that story. Yep. So, yeah. There's a reason why people complain about Tekken stories sometimes, because like all the characters that actually had kind of like a cool backstory or cool interactions are being like put into comedy relief. Eddie Gordo being a clear example on Tekken 7. Like, Eddie, poor guy, it's just being clowned by Loki Chloe of all people. And Eddie, right? Eddie has a reason to be a serious character. Like, he lost his master. I don't remember the story on 7 for Eddie. I know Eddie was trying to was fighting on the Tekken tournament to find a cure or to pay the bills for the master, right? He succeeded. Yeah. Then I think the same happened to his partner, like to his trading partner. She entered the Tekken tournament too for that reason too. And they succeeded, and they just actually made the recovery for the master go successfully. That was a cool story. I like Eddie because of that. But why? Like, you already have comedic relief characters. Though their names are Forest Law, and Paul Phoenix. They are right
Paul
fucking
should have been
there.
a rival. Damn it. I like when Paul was more of a serious, like, okay, he was kind of always a joke character, but he was like a joke character in a serious way. Like, he literally beat Org. So it's like, I wish they kind of kept that like output with him, but they made him more and more and more of a joke.
Yeah, they went
Like,
way too far on the joke character. And you also have other, like, actually designed to be joke characters. Ganryu now standing. Fucking Ganryu, bro. Like, originally he was just a joke character, like a silly one, but then they went ham on it with Tekken 7, making him a fucking pseudo-influencer just fucking obsessed with Julia. It was so fucking stupid, but I loved it.
It's fine to have joke characters like that. I said, it's just, it sucks when they start making like their characters that could have been more serious into joke characters, or that started off serious, aka Steve, and then slowly he devolved into becoming a joke character.
Yeah, like the backstory for Steve
like he took steroids.
Fucking nuts. Like, I like Steve Fox. The story for Steve is freaking nuts, and I kind of love it. Like, the unwanted son of Nina, but Nina still cares about him. It's so interesting.
Yeah. It's so weird about that too, because like he didn't have an interaction with Nina until later on. They finally patched it in for him to have an interaction with Nina when they both fight each other.
Yeah.
It's like I don't know. It's like, it makes you think like they really do not think about these other characters. If you're not in mission mode, they do not care. At least that's what it feels like. I don't know. Maybe that's a little too harsh once again, but it's just like
it depends on the
they
on the
have a
situation.
crazy story.
Yeah, Tekken 8 has a great story. I'll admit that. The things I've watched about it was so good. Fucking Tekken Force in the middle of the story was fucking great.
And now I'm hoping that they don't do that to Miguel, because he needs to come back.
Yeah,
I need somebody to challenge Jin.
You're putting way too many.
Not in the fight sense, but like, not in the fight sense, because I don't know how strong Miguel really is, like story wise. But it's just like everybody kind of instantly forgave Jin. I need Miguel to come over there and say, "No, you're still a bastard."
Yeah,
I need him to come back.
I mean, yeah, fucking Jin killed his fucking sister on their wedding.
Yeah.
Of course I'm going to hate. Of course he's going to hate his guts. It's no
Yep.
forgiving that. Hwoarang did it, but Hwoarang is more of a rival than actual enemy.
Yeah. Yeah. He's actually more of a rival. He's not really his enemy. They're just like, it feels like they have a friendly rivalry now. I don't know. I don't remember his story because I never really played him that much. Were they antagonistic towards each other?
Not that I'm aware of. They were more of rivals than anything. The reason why if I remember correctly, Hwoarang on 7 was actually looking for Jin because of that. He wanted a rematch. Either that or just to protect him from the authorities so he can get his rematch. But I'm not sure. I haven't played Tekken 7 in years, so I should actually
No, okay, yeah, that's fair. On the other side, though, there's definitely some controversies we need to go through on Tekken's end.
Fucking fuck.
God damn it.
Like,
yeah.
I get it. He was a DLC from 7, but is it really there any Fakram fans that wanted him so bad? Or is it just the developers want him to be in there?
I'm sure there's some, but I'm gonna say right now, the people in the crowd when they announced him, there was no cheering.
No,
there was no cheering for that video from what I saw. I was like, oh yeah, people do not want him.
To be fair with Fakram, he got done so fucking dirty. Like, from day fucking 0, he got done dirty because he was revealed alongside, if I remember correctly, right? He got revealed alongside the release of Ganryu, the announcement of the release date for Leroy Smith, and then he was just teased at the end against Marduk, if I remember correctly.
He got in this trailer.
He got announced alongside one of the most broken pieces of software to ever be released on a fighting game, and one of the funniest joke character Tekken has. Yeah, there's no winning against that. and then he released on Tekken 7. And as far as I remember, I haven't seen many people play him outside of just for the reason of he's the new character, might as well check him out and see what he has.
Apparently he was terrifying the community. I stopped playing at that point, but apparently he was really OP.
I'm guessing that was way after the mega nerfing of fucking Leroy, because Leroy was dominating the shit out of the game.
No, that man was busted. They kneecapped him, and he's still paying for his sins.
Yeah. That man terrorized the entirety of Tekken 7 for a while. So Fakram being a menace at the very end of it, it's kind of not of a big deal because Tekken 8 was on the horizon by that point, I'm guessing.
Yeah. So when it comes to him, I want to say at least 2 to 3 things screwed up his reveal. One, he shouldn't have been DLC to begin with from Tekken 8. He should not have been DLC to begin with. He should have been in the starter roster of Tekken 8. Same with Lydia and Leroy was, so thank God. But yeah, Lydia and him should have been in the starter roster.
Yeah.
Don't know why they thought that. 2, Season 2 is a dumpster fire. And probably the worst Tekken in a long time.
Oh yeah, that patch. That patch that threw every player off a cliff. No pun intended.
Like, I'm all for the philosophy of buff first, nerf later, pretty much. I would rather see more buffs to the people who are in the lower end than everybody getting nerfed to be boring. Yeah. No, they did not just buff the characters in this game. What they did is okay, so you like a chocolate cake. Everybody loves like cake or some delicious sugary treat. Okay. Yeah, but instead of just giving you, like a little piece of chocolate, what they gave you was the diabetes bonanza. Where pretty much it was just chocolate, fudge, more chocolate, ice cream, fudge, Hershey's bars. It's too much. It was too much of a good thing.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Everybody became, not everybody, but a lot of the peoples in the game became a broken mess. Freaking Jack was terrorizing.
Yeah, I saw the infinite they were pulling with Jack. Holy shit. Why?
I don't think he had an infinite per se. You could technically beat it, but you had to hard guess. I mean, you had to pray that they aren't mixing you in this 50-50 infinite 50-50.
I don't know about that because I saw that shit on fucking Block. Just having enough time to just cancel go. Yeah. He just had enough fucking block stun to keep going and going. So that on him sounds horrifying.
So the thing is, some characters have a fast enough armor attack to break through it.
Okay.
But you do that once, the player's gonna know, and now they're gonna start to mix you up even more.
Oh man,
you could not sidestep it. You were stuck. You could not duck it. You were stuck.
And we still have so according to the season pass, right? We still have one more returning character and a new character coming up. So whatever they do with Fakram, let's just hope is not the most broken piece of garbage to ever exist. It's just all I can hope.
I'm hoping not.
Plus, I consider Fakram on Tekken 7 a cool looking character because at the end of the day he's the most unique body type on the game outside of Marduk being just a fucking gorilla and the bears, of course, the bears, Kuma and Panda, of course. But Fakram looked unique in the sense that he just looked like a fucking One Piece character, and I kind of love it.
I wasn't for that, but when you mentioned that, then I was looking at him again. I was like, he actually does. He actually kind of adds charm to him.
He looks like a One Piece character, and I love it.
It's so funny because in the Tekken 7 trailer that they have for him, they showed him towering over Marduk.
But then the gameplay just showed up, and they are just the same height.
It looked like he was actually shorter.
Hey, they were playing around the One Piece thing because One Piece doesn't know shit about heights. Like the heights on One Piece are all over the place too. So Fair enough.
I remember. It's just funny thinking about that because I remember all the people were talking about it. Someone made a meme. They pretty much made a mod where they made Fakrim like itty bitty size. So they did the trailer, and then when it went to the gameplay, somebody had the mod version of the gameplay up. You just see this little knee size little Fakrim fighting Marth.
Oh my god, that sounds painful as fuck because he will still have his hitbox and hurtbox the normal size.
It was just funny.
Oh my god.
I loved it. I love when tech and the tech community kind of works together and just make funny stuff. But yeah, if they make the returning character, honestly, I think after the crap show that was season 2, I think they're gonna be better with the balancing on the next characters.
I mean, they announced on the same trailer for Fakram, they also announced that balance patches are coming up on every single one of the patches until the release of Fakram. So yeah, no, there is going to be a change, hopefully for the better.
Oh, this is probably going to be for the better. I know some people were crying because they was just like all nerfs, but I hate to say it, we kind of need it. I just hope that they kind of be fair with the nerfs and they make it make sense because right now, Kazuma are. What? I feel like I'm saying his name for some reason. It's Kazuma, right? Kazuya.
Kazuma is the guy from fucking Yakuza. Hopefully he's coming up as a new character.
Kazuya. Sorry, apologies to all Kazuya fans. Yeah, they made his new move, his like little backhand that's supposed to be that hit side steps. They made it no longer hit side steps, so it looks kind of funky. It's like he's doing this wide sweep with his attack, but you can sidestep it easily. So it's like the animation looks bad. It shouldn't be in the moveset anymore. Pretty much, they should fix that. I'm hoping that they don't keep doing stuff like that, where it's like, all right, we got these new moves that look like it should work this way. We're just not going to make it work at all. It's like, oh, what? Ill. Don't do that. Don't.
Right. Give me a sec. Yes, I need to use the bathroom real quick. I'll BRB.
Okay. I'm just going to just ramble. But yeah, that's something I never was a fan of. It's just how they fix stuff like that. Because it's like, it's cool to get new moves. To all you guys in chat, if you're still listening. But yeah, no, I definitely think the season 2 patch was pretty crazy. I'm just gonna say it right now. It was definitely it was really bad. I'm gonna tell you right now, it was really bad. We were talking about how Jack had an infinite with his I believe the move was called Make It Clap. It was something silly like that. Well, Paul had an infinite. Pretty much he has this one move where he kind of punches down your head. I don't remember the name of it. Hammer drop or something weird like that. Anyway, he has this move where he punches down your head and you're kind of like in negative frames. So Paul can like do certain moves to react faster. Well, unfortunately, because of how many positive frames he got now, he pretty much had unblockable, where pretty much he would hit you with that move and then he would immediately kick you up in your face. There was nothing you could do about it. You're just stuck taking that foot to the face.
Wait, are we talking... Wasn't that the combo for Jack?
No, I was talking about Paul. Like I was just talking about like Paul. Just so there was no dead air. But yeah, I was talking about Paul's infinite that was added to season 2 that hopefully they fixed. I'm pretty sure they did. Pretty much he would have you like at -14 or something, and because of that he was able to get a free hit off of you. There was nothing you could do. You would block it, and then you would get hit by the Wild Rising 2, which is not 2, I think 3. But anyway, he would kick you in the face. There's nothing you could do. You were stuck.
Oh my.
So it was stuff like that about season 2 that was absolute garbage. And that's why a lot of Tekken fans were mad at them. And that's why they're nerfing a lot of crap.
Understandable. Okay. Now I understand why it was all the fucking rage.
Oh, it was. Like, it was the worst.
Oh man.
It was okay. So live like this. It's kind of fun. Oh, it could be way worse. It's fun when you're playing against people who just want to play honest Tekken. I know that sounds like an oxymoron, but no, there's people out there who just like, they're not trying to be like cheese you. They're just they're playing you.
Bro,
but there's people at rank where you're playing the character. They're trying to.
Yeah, people on rank, no matter what, they want to rank up. They're going to play the most shittiest or the most fucking boring shit ever because that gets them wins.
Yep.
It's what a friend of mine said. He's going to play like a bitch because he wants to win. That's how it works. It's going to be boring to watch. It's going to be boring to do, But if that gets you where you want to go, then yeah, there's no reason for them to not do it because it works.
Yeah. And that's kind of one of the things in fighting games is that you want to, or at least, I don't know, maybe it's just, a lot of people do. They want to fight the player. They don't want to fight the characters. So
exactly.
You have to try to break them out of their flowchart or whatever bullcrap that they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Season 2 made that almost infinitely, no, it made it infinitely hard to do that. Yeah. It's because of how broken that game was. You were fighting the characters and all the bullcrap that was added to them, and you were not really fighting the players themselves.
Yep.
It's just no mind games.
Yeah, pretty much. It was just a book that was fighting against you. It was like when Eddie released, you know, those people that were just pressing one button and winning with Eddie.
Oh, just the freaking bot that was pushing like 4?
It was pressing 3. It was 3. I remember because the channel was just called 3. He like repeated like 6 times. It was funny as hell.
Yes, that's all it was. Yeah, it was stuff like that. That's when you're playing the character, or you're fighting the character. You're not fighting the player.
Yeah,
that Danny said.
Yeah,
I hate fighting Eddie because of that crap.
Oh man, he gets crazy. I mean, I said okay. Going back to what I said a little bit. It could be way worse. You could be Mortal Kombat 1. So
I haven't played Mortal Kombat, but I heard that it is not looking good over those fields.
I've heard that Mortal Kombat 1 is on its last, like the content is about to be over. If not that, it's already over. Like they ended up everything with the T1000. That's it.
How many seasons do they have?
2. If I remember correctly, there was only 2. Each season came with I think 5 characters. Like 4 Mortal Kombat 1s and 2 or 3 that were crossover characters. Like in the first season were Homelander, Omni-Man, Peacemaker, Quan Chi, Takeda, and Ermac. So 6 characters there. On the second one, there was the T2000, I think it was, the one that was just liquid metal.
Yeah.
Conan the Barbarian, Ghostface, Sector, Cyrax, and Noob Saibot. So 6 characters too. And once the T1000
I think it's 6 characters, we get 4.
Yeah, like other fighting games just get 4. NRS just went ham on DLCs since like the very least Injustice 2 Mortal Kombat X. They went ham on DLC characters. They were the only ones doing more than 4. They kept it all the way up to here. Not surprising, honestly. They had the budget too. Like, not many fighting games.
I feel bad for them.
I feel really bad for them because they realized some of the characters and made people happy with those characters. Hell, I was just enjoying watching combo videos of Ghostface of all people. I don't even like the Scream movies. I don't like fucking horror movies in general, but fucking Ghostface looked so fun. Same with Peacemaker. That character actually made me watch the fucking show, and I absolutely adored it. It was funny as hell. Oh my god. Yeah.
And you know, if Mortal Kombat might not be my thing, and I will always make fun of their animations. I will say though, like watching other people do play it, it did look fun. No, yeah. Ghostface did look fun. I liked his weird combos, and he had his own little assist because he was summoning other Ghostface. That was cool. I like those kind of reference stuff that was happening.
Yeah.
So it sucks to hear that Mortal Kombat 1 just
seems to be
kind
over.
of flop.
Yeah.
Well, did it even flop, or was it just WB just like
I think it was.
No,
I think it was actually just WB being a little either stingy or not providing enough support for the game. Which, yeah,
no,
it is a possibility for WB to be like that. Multiverses notwithstanding. Although I don't think you can withstand it. So
WB, oh my, I don't know what is going on with that company right now. They are just making. It feels like they're making all the wrong decisions. It's so crazy.
It's almost like they are just shooting themselves on the foot every fucking time.
Yeah, with a shotgun, they won't stop. Like, you just stop. Oh, you have good IPs. Use them right. So crazy. Just stop shooting yourself in the foot, WB.
I mean, There is also rumors that the chosen characters for Multiverses were not the decision of WB, was only on the fucking I don't know if it was the producer or the director, but the characters that were selected for the game were not the best picks ever. To be fair, like
It was
there
a
were
lot of old stuff. It was like Gremlins. I don't think a lot of the current generations know what Gremlins is. I'm an old head, so I know that movie. I mean, I don't know. Was it Gizmo? I don't think
Gizmo.
anybody was excited to see Gizmo.
If I remember correctly, yeah, a lot of the characters from since the beta to now were related to a recent release of something. I know Gizmo had something released recently, like for Gremlins, but I am not sure. I know in that thing, if I remember correctly, it was a show for Gizmo. In that show, there's no sign of Stripe. So the reason why they released Stripe, I think it's just because of we have Gizmo, might as well represent the OG movie with their villain, which is Stripe. For Black Adam, for example, which is, I still believe to this day, he was just a wasted slot of a roster. It's because of the...
He had a fun moveset.
He had a fun moveset. It's arguably one of the best in the games. But still, I think out of all the DC characters you can include, why Black Adam? Of course, it's because of the movie time.
Yeah,
They gave him a movie costume and everything in the beta, so yeah, it was because of the movie.
Yeah, some of their picks were definitely off.
Like, why is
what was their last
LeBron?
ones?
The last one were
LeBron?
Aquaman and Lola Bunny. Those two were the last two. And to be honest, I prefer 100 times over Lola Bunny to represent Space Jam than fucking LeBron James.
So in that respect, the only reason I can think of, I mean, LeBron is famous right now. Well,
LeBron
I don't
is
watch
still
basketball that much.
Yeah.
He's still famous.
He's still
and
there.
Space Jam 2 came out, even though that's kind of old at this point, but
by the time the beta released, Space Jam the very least was what, a year old? I don't remember, to be honest. It was 2020.
I didn't really watch it, so I don't remember.
Me neither. I might be speaking out of my ass here, so I don't bother listening to me. But yeah, I just there is a lot of wasted potential there for the roster.
Oh no, it's if they didn't change their game from being how it was all fast and energetic to whatever it became now, making the characters way too big, they didn't fit the stage really.
They changed engines. They very much just rebuild the entire game from scratch. I still don't get it. Why? Like, they could have monetized the beta and just said, okay, released. That's that. They already had the system going.
It's so crazy that they monetized the beta, by the way. I'm just gonna throw it out there because people didn't.
Yeah, because at that point, they were not treating that as a beta. They were treating that as a full-on game. Like, why would you bother releasing
that we
battle
lost
passes
for a
and
year
all of that for a beta?
Because I feel like that might be more WB
seeing,
at that point.
Yeah, WB seeing the success of the beta, just keep it up. Just keep it up. Just keep it up. That's all they said, and then just decided to rework the game so they could just, I don't know, re-release it later so they can monetize it even better or something. Because I pretty sure believe that will be the reason. Like, they just decided to re-release the game, rework the game on a new engine so they can just monetize the game even more.
Yeah, it is weird. It's weird seeing stuff like that happen because that game was easily a sure shot. Easily, how everybody was praising the game.
The beta
People
was
loved it.
fucking awesome.
The beta was fun. The music was garbage, but but everything else was good.
I mean, the music
and
was. The music was just an orchestral arrangement for some of the themes from the shows. Like in the Rick and Morty stage, you get an orchestral remix of their theme and stuff like that. So for each their own.
I hate it. I hate it. Don't stop doing that. Stop trying to bring these orchestrated musics into these games that are supposed to be high energy. All right, if you do that, there's ways to make orchestra music sound hype. They don't know how to do it though. I hate it. Hate it.
They gave you the option
That's
to
definitely a
mute
pet peeve.
it, so it's fine. Plus,
Yeah.
here's
you
the
had
kicker.
to because of copyright.
Here's the kicker. The streamer mode on the beta, and I think even on the officially released game, never worked. And
It didn't work.
The only thing the streamer mode will do, it's basically just mute the music out of the game. By that point, you're better off just turning the music off manually.
It's so lazy. This might as well just say, yeah, you gotta turn the music off. That's it.
I mean, yeah, of course you cannot use it. They are official themes for the fucking shows and stuff. Like, I don't want to get copyright because I'm listening to a quote-unquote cover of the Steven Universe opening. Thank you very much. I'm just muting
it's so weird. That's why it's like, just make new music for your games, or make remixes that you can allow for people to stream. Because, you know, and some people are against content creation, content creators, but you have to admit, they drive in audience. They play the game, people see the game, they like, oh my god, this game looks fun, and then they'll actually try to take a chance to buy it. Just don't screw your content creators over. That's why I'm kind of glad, like, was it Galaxy, Guardians of the Galaxy? When they had a streamer mode.
Yeah, they had a streamer mode with actual safe music.
Yes.
They actually thought about it. I still need to play that game. I have it, and it looks so fun. Like, that was the compensation for Avengers. I'll say that much.
Yes. I love when companies take the time to do that when they know that their music might have copyright issues.
I mean, they knew exactly we'll have copyright issues. Star-Lord is listening to fucking Michael Jackson or fucking Rick Ashley on the fucking space. Yeah, no, that's going to cause some troubles.
No, yeah, that is going to cause problems. I'm just glad that they consider it instead of just like, you know what? We're just going to mute all the music. You don't get to hear anything.
Yep.
Have fun. So yeah, it's stuff like that gets me. So
but yeah,
during WB, I'm kind of sad that Mortal Kombat 1's going that way, because I know they're getting a definite edition, and I think that's the reason why people are thinking, oh, Mortal Kombat 1 is dead.
Yeah,
so,
that might be the reason why someone could think it's over. But to be fair, they released Mortal Kombat 11 twice. One once the Aftermath expansion came out as a definitive edition, and the other once the last bit of DLC released, which is Rambo, Rain, and Melina. They released the Ultimate Edition with everything.
Right.
So Mortal Kombat 1 now releasing this after 2 seasons of DLC. There is 2 possibilities. 1, the game is over, or 2, there is one more thing to go off of. Like maybe 3 more DLC characters like in Mortal Kombat 11. Maybe an expansion to the story because everybody and their mother didn't like the story, the second part of the story. So it will just depend.
I hope they continue because of the story, because it sounded like they wanted to keep continuing the story and adding more DLC characters to it. So
yeah,
I'm hoping that they'll still go, because Mortal Kombat sold well, didn't it? Initially,
as far as I know, yes, but I'm not very sure on numbers.
I'll have to look it up later. I say I only know bits and pieces of Mortal Kombat just from other content creators that I watch, because I never really played Mortal Kombat. Like, I have a choice between so many games, and I was like, all right, I have to make sure I get this, whatever. So I never ended up picking up Mortal Kombat.
Yeah,
I should at some point.
Yeah.
Another game though that I also kind of want to talk about because I thought it was hilarious. Fatal Fury.
Oh yeah.
Salvatore.
Fucking Salvatore.
I've never seen people do such a huge 180 on a character before.
Me neither. Like, to be fair, I was just about like, who the fuck is this? Like,
a lot of people
like
were.
The trailer didn't do Salvatore Aganachi's justice, to be fair. Like, Salvatore and Ronaldo were just thrown in there as the marketing goats, and that's that. Like, yeah. To be fair, there is no saving. No matter what you do, you cannot sell me on Ronaldo's model. Ronaldo looks like generic NPC number 345, dude. No.
So the crazy thing is about Ronaldo and Salvatore, it feels like, oh, they actually wanted Salvatore to be added to this game. Ronaldo doesn't feel like they wanted to add it to it because his animations are so stiff and
No.
he doesn't do anything.
What I think what happened was they added Ronaldo, but with Ronaldo they had to actually just stick with what Ronaldo wants as the appearance and marketing, like he has under the contract. Like you can use his likeness,
right? You
can use his likeness,
but you have to make him strong or something.
No, you have to make him this or this appearance wise. Like I think appearance wise, you cannot play around much with Ronaldo unless Ronaldo actually wants it. But when it comes to Salvatore Ganacci, he's already technically a character. So you just have to base him around. He's already released, say, lore, history, and basically just whatever he does. With Ganacci, you have more playroom than you have with Ronaldo. Ronaldo is not a fictional character. It's an actual real-life person. But Ganacci is an actual real-life person,
but he fits this genre so well. Like, just looking at his videos and stuff, it's like, okay, so Salvatore is playing a character. That's pretty much what he's doing with his stuff. He has, like, anime videos and all this craziness is happening.
Yep.
No, like, this man is funny. I like him.
Bro,
I'm about this man.
Bro, it's a modern rendition of Norimaro at this point. An actual comedian that was just on with it and just play around with the character, make him the most ridiculous piece of software ever made, and it worked because Ganacci is the funniest character in the game, and I love it.
I do too. It's so funny because again, everybody was against him. They're talking about, oh, he took the slot of Duck King, and I'm like, Duck King would play nothing like him. Just from watching the trailers, but no, everybody was complaining about him taking a slot. Then they saw the freaking tournament of him where people were like showcasing him. They're like, "Oh, okay, this man is silly. He's fun. He's
fucking bro. He's twerking on his crouching animation. How much funny do you want him?"
His head and stuff. He just seems like a fun, well thought out character, like somebody who would actually fit the freaking Fatal Fury universe.
Yeah,
and it doesn't help, or it does help that Salvatore himself is freaking he's very charming.
Yeah,
he knows how to market himself. I'm just gonna say it right now.
Yep.
The bro popped in on one of freaking Maximilian, big FGC content creators, freaking video and asked what kind of sweatshirt he wants.
What's the size of your size of tractions do you use?
Yes,
I may have something for you.
It's like, oh, I love this man. He was charming. He worked so for it. Good. It's so crazy. It's so because people hate him, now they love him. People love him now.
He went from one of the most hated guest characters of all time to one of the most loved. Ganacci just pull it off. Holy god.
It's crazy how just the person themselves can change so much. Like what's his name? Wow, I just remember his name now. Luke.
Yeah, Luke.
Like people hated Luke.
Alex Lee just carried the shit out of that character. I'll just say it. Alex Lee is fucking Luke. He just carried the character. Yep. Oh my god.
He put so much charm into freaking Luke that people ended up loving Luke.
I mean,
despite how much hate he was getting at first.
Yeah, because he was interacting with the community itself. He participated. Hell, he even fucking he even put the voice for one of the music themes for Street Fighter at Evo. He actually just put part of the lyrics. Fuck it.
See?
He's so good.
It's stuff like that. Just it's so charming.
Plus the videos he does with the other voice actors of the Street Fighter cast is just so funny.
Yeah.
So good.
That's why I like him.
Yeah.
He carried the character. He carried him on his back and he rode him to victory.
Pretty much. Like on Street Fighter 5 it wasn't that much because at the end of the day he was the last character of that game. So at that point it's worth it to just focus on the next version of it, which will be the main version of him.
Yep, and people didn't like him in Street Fighter 5 because he was breaking the game because he was pretty much playing Street Fighter 6.
Yeah, pretty much.
with his moveset.
Yeah, you can.
So
you
people
can
are like,
tell,
he's too powerful, blah blah blah.
You can tell from the get-go that Luke was the first character to be actually ready for Street Fighter 6 because all the moves you see on 5 are straight up his animations on 6. Or at the very least, I remember them being like that. They were super fluid. Oh my god.
That's why I'm all about him. I love them. I love this. I love when people are able to just do that.
Yeah,
pretty
they
much.
just play around with the character.
In fact, now I think about it, he actually helped with the voice acting too, in the sense of giving him different lines that actually fit, like it matched his character. Even though Capcom were like, "What does this even mean?" Or they would kind of question them the stuff that making Luke say, and Alex was just like fight for it, say no. Luke would probably say something like this after doing this and such like that.
Giving the
So
personality.
he added his own charm to him. Yeah.
He basically just gave Luke the actual personality he needed.
Yep. And that's what I love to see. Same with Salvatore, his goofy self.
Yeah. The only
like,
downside about that is that the fucking people that were on the game didn't play the characters. Like, it would be funny to just have this man with a barely understanding on English trying to speak the lines on the arcade mode, because, believe it or not, the arcade ladder and the cinematics for the fucking game are voice acted. So just hearing Ganachi interacting with Terry and Duck King will be funny as hell.
Oh yeah, I mean, I did kind of have their reason for that, because like, if a person who's not really good at voice acting tries to do stuff like that for their character, it could be kind of garbage.
I mean,
I hate to say it like that, because like with I don't know too much about Mortal Kombat, but I know someone. I think a DJ was
wait,
pretty much cosplaying this.
Wait. So there is 3 real life people that put voices for characters. 2 of them were playing actual Mortal Kombat characters, but the third one, which is the one you're referring to, Dimitri Vegas, was playing voice lines for Sub-Zero on a skin.
Right.
So the if I remember correctly, he's Polish DJ or something like that. So his English is not going to be perfect from the get-go.
Right.
And he's not technically trying to play characters, he's trying to play himself. So, yeah, it's not going to be great. But the effort was there. And when it comes to Ganachi,
he tried, though.
It's going to be... Yeah, you're right. It's going to be the same thing. Ganachi barely speaks any English, as far as I know, at least. And, yeah. I think it's for the best for him to just be played. Plus, you have also a Japanese dub for the game, so that's that too.
The Japanese dub sounds hilarious because it makes me all got this deep voice that he gave him.
They gave him the deep voice. He's speaking English when he's fucking dubbing on Japanese. I love it. I love it. That character is one of the funniest characters I've seen in the recent years. I love him. Oh my God.
Yeah, I do too. He's such a fun dude. I'm glad I got introduced to his content, so I'm gonna start watching him now.
Yeah,
watch his music videos and whatnot. But on the side of the whole DJ thing, like with the Sub-Zero dude, I will give it to him too. He did all of the dialogue himself, or he repeated what Sub-Zero was saying, except he used his own voice.
Yeah,
and there's a lot of dialogue in that game, so I respect the man for doing that.
Plus,
that showed that he actually does care for the game.
It was
like he likes it.
Yeah, it was mainly on a skin that was only using voice for the versus screen. That's it. I don't think he did the grunts or anything else, so that's just that.
Oh, okay. But even still, they got a lot of voices for their, they're starting about the fight screen.
Yeah.
Like they will sometimes lore drops on that, though.
The other 2 like real people that actually are not voice actors that play characters were Ronda Rousey on Mortal Kombat 11 and Megan Fox on Mortal Kombat 1.
And from what I heard, the Megan Fox one was not that well done.
I mean, people were already off on Sonya being played by Ronda Rousey on 11, but they made it even worse by giving Nitara to Megan Fox. Like, no offense to Megan. I don't know her movies outside of maybe Transformers, and that's it. But voice acting is not her forte, that's for sure. Either that or she didn't want to be there. because I know if you know how to act,
That's
I know
actually
voice
both
acting
really
is a
true.
completely different field, but you at least have to make it work. There are some actors that prove that they can also voice act, but I don't think that's Megan's forte, or she just didn't want to be there. She was just for the paycheck.
Oh, yeah.
That's it. I don't know.
That's very important too, because because you can act does not mean you can voice act, because they're still different.
Yeah.
While acting, you're kind of like physically there, and you have to, emote with your body too. It kind of helps with the voice acting. When you're voice acting, you're in a booth, and just say whatever you gotta say your lines to a mic.
Yeah.
Some people need interaction with other humans and whatnot to kind of get that voice acting to kick in.
Yeah.
Or when they're acting. So not everybody can be a voice actor.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, Megan, she did not do a good job. Why?
Oh.
So it's stuff like that makes you like, yeah. Sometimes you gotta get the replacement. Sometimes you just have to just bite the bullet and let somebody else do the work for you. And if you're someone's playing your character, as in like Salvatore,
Pretty much.
I don't know. Take some acting classes for a quick, voice acting class for a little bit. Speedrun that mug.
I mean, yeah.
It's
okay, wild though.
It is. But yeah, those are it's fighting games of his late has gotten a little funny in its own ways. There's been a lot of highs. There's definitely been a lot of lows, surprisingly. Yeah. I'm hoping we'll go back to the highs. I want Street Fighter to kind of kick it up again, because I haven't really played it because I don't have a character. Unfortunately, I don't have a character in that game.
I have a character, but I already have them high enough that I have no reason to keep playing.
Yeah, we need more characters.
It's not that I need more characters. I just need a reason to actually play it. The only reason I just go back is
hopefully more characters will do.
That's that.
You same?
It's the only.
And
the only
I kind of
reason
want to get back onto it.
Yeah. The only reason I go back to Street Fighter is because of World Tour. That's all I do. I already have DJ on gold. I already have Zangief on gold, and I don't have the DLC characters, so that's that. I don't have the money for DLC characters. And so the only thing after Elena releases should be waiting for either Summer's Game Fest or Evo. Either or.
Maybe, let me see, June 5th. That's when Summer's Game Fest is in 3 weeks.
If I remember correctly, there's also more DLC characters for other games coming up. I've got into Grand Blue Fantasy Versus Rising recently, so I'm kind of aware of what's going on with the game now. They have a character coming up. That game is fun as hell. It's full of fucking zoners, and I play grapplers. It's hellish, but it's fun. I don't know how.
And the best part about the game, it's free. You can play the game for free.
Yeah,
you'll get only some characters, but hey, there's a free version of the game worth playing.
Yeah,
definitely worth playing. I like it a lot.
It's worth giving a shot. Plus, if you buy just the standard edition, you get a shitload of characters too.
Yep. I want more games to work like that too. I have to admit.
I mean, to be fair, Grand Blue Fantasy Versus Rising is technically the second release of the game. The first release of Grand Blue Fantasy Versus was worse than Street Fighter V, and that's saying something.
Yeah, it was not good.
The game had barely any content, had no online, and it had a smaller roster than Street Fighter 6. It was weird.
It was. They were probably baking on DLC, but that game did not do well.
Yeah, it had I think one season of DLC or two, and they decided we might as well re-release the game with more characters and stuff. The base version of Rising now has at least 1 or 2 new characters that were not on the DLC of the previous game, and all the previous games DLC is base roster. Yeah,
I don't know what they were thinking with that.
Yeah,
it was rough, but again, they definitely pulled themselves out of the fire with their freaking Grand Blue. Yeah, I definitely think it's worth checking out for sure. I like that game a lot. I need to play it again.
The next character, I saw the trailer and I thought, are they actually making a fucking grappler that is also a zoner? And I'm just, I don't know about that one, Chief.
We want you to suffer is what I'm hearing.
I mean, with how many zoners and trap setup characters and trap characters there is on that game, adding a zoner that is also a grappler doesn't sound that out of the ordinary, but still. Holy shit. I already suffer enough with fucking Cagliostro and Matera existing in that game.
I hope you're good at spot dodging. That's all.
Not spot dodging, I need to learn how to fucking roll too. It's so annoying, but you know what? I'll take it. Fuck it.
It is. I wonder. Hopefully they're balanced. I'll say that.
It's a
Otherwise,
DLC
that's gonna be
character,
a fracking
bro.
nightmare.
It's a DLC character, bro. You know
DLC privilege is real.
Yeah, you know it's going to be either good or break the game. No intermediate. It's
never gonna make a DLC
very,
bad.
and I mean very rare for a character to be actually bad on release of a DLC.
Yeah, absolutely, because they need that money. So if they're not
the only one that I can think of that was quote unquote relatively bad was Fuck Rum, but that was because Leroy Smith was right fucking there.
Yeah,
he could just overshadow. Yeah, he
and
just
apparently Fox again. He became. I don't know if he became overpowered because of buffs. I just know he started terrorizing the community.
I'm guessing it was because it was a mix of both. The menace of the game being nerfed to hell and back, and
Leroy
getting small buffs just to compensate against Leroy and other characters. I guess it was just a mix of both. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, but rarely, if ever, DLC is going to be weak. At worst, they will be mid-tier. At worst.
Very worst too.
Usually they're good.
Yeah.
Which hopefully, Cody. I want Cody. Street Fighter 6. Please give me Cody.
Oh,
God damn it.
What will be the next stage for his character arc? Because out of all the Street Fighter characters, I think Cody is the one that has the most evolution out of each rendition.
Not depressed.
I mean, he's not. It's not that he's depressed. He's more bored than depressed. He was depressed on Street Fighter 4.
Yeah, he was. Street Fighter 5. He's finally no longer in prison.
I mean, he was just beating the shit out of people in Final Fight. Then he got in trouble because of it, and he got depressed in prison. So he got chill on Street Fighter Alpha. Then on Street Fighter 4, he got a little depressed, but sought to just get that depression out with fighting on the fucking streets. Then he got fucking rehabilitated.
Prison.
Yeah, he got rehabilitated by Hagar, and for some reason, they decided to give the position of mayor to an ex-convict. But you know what? This day and age is possible.
Yeah,
this day and age is possible. So they gave him the mayor. They gave him the keys to the city, and now he's the mayor on Metro City. Like, even to this day on Street Fighter 6, he's still there.
Even if they don't evolve him, I would like to see kind of like what's going on with his life. So I'm fine with them, like bringing him in some way or form.
Yeah,
especially because I kind of want him to be more of a character than he was in Street Fighter 5.
Yeah,
because he was missing moves.
You will think on a game with the story that focuses a lot, not all the time, but it focuses a lot on the inner goings of Metro City itself. Like, you have the Mad Gear gang and mixed up with the other gangs of the city, and the fucking underground dealings they do and stuff like that. You will think on a city so coded for Final Fight, the roster of the game will have at least one representative of them, and the only thing close to that we have is Kimberly. Kimberly representing Guy. And I think it could be a good idea to have either Cody or Hagar or a representative of those two to show up. Hell, even Lucia! Fucking Lucia! Or hell,
freaking cop, yeah.
Or if they feel very brave and decided to reuse assets a little bit, fucking Carlos is also right there. They could just give him a more expanded moveset and we have him.
I kind of, if they don't bring Cody, I would be happy for Hagar, freaking Carlos. Especially Carlos, actually. I like his theme. He has his own theme song. Yeah, bring him out.
Reuse of assets, bro. It's right there.
Just give him actual, moves, because his moves are still kind of fake. But
yeah, like, he has barely any moves. outside of the fucking generic ones or the sword.
The sword is not generic. That's one's brought from Final Fight 2.
Yeah.
But
the sword is the
his
most unique.
other moves, you could tell they're made for being an NPC, pretty much. An NPC. Yeah.
They need a lot of tweaking to be actually useful.
But you just use his model, retweak his moves, and bust him as a new character. I'll be fine with that. Shoot. I'll be absolutely ecstatic because I like Carlos. I like his theme. I like his outfit. I like his fit. I like him, man.
Yeah, the suit is a really good touch on him.
It is. So yeah, bring him out. Okay. And I'm kind of hoping once Elena gets announced and Switch 2 and all that, I hope they immediately start with the next line of DLC and what's going to come out, because honestly, Elena took way too long to come out. She did.
If they announce that the next character we're getting, it's either December or January of next year. Like,
I was hoping they'd say fall. Not fall.
If they say winter, it's most likely going to be November, December, January. So that's.
I hope they don't wait that long.
Me too.
I hope they take the fact that Elena took too long to come out, because she was coming out in spring. We're past spring.
Yeah,
we're in summer.
Yeah, like I said, if they keep this up, like releasing new content for World Tour each time they release a new DLC character, yeah, they're going to take a freaking while to release a new character. Plus, who knows what's up on the horizon? There's a lot of possibilities still. There's a lot of Street Fighter games not represented, and there's a lot of other really cool possibilities.
Do we have anybody from Alpha?
No.
I don't. No, we don't.
No, we have Street Fighter 2, Street Fighter 4, and Street Fighter 5. Now with Elena, Street Fighter 3. That's it. And Street Fighter 6.
We need someone from Alpha.
We need someone from Alpha, from Street Fighter 1, and although I'm not sure outside of Gen what else can you take from them, maybe Eagle? Just to explain what the fuck is going on between Eagle and Ken. Because that's the thing that I'm still curious about.
It's probably going to be Eagle, because surprisingly he has a lot of fans.
Plus, he technically has new thing coming up because he's on the fucking new collection they released. Thanks, CBS2!
Oh, yeah, you're right. Shoot, this would be the perfect time for release him then. Bring him out. Shoot.
He's on 2 games of that collection, if I remember correctly. On Alpha 3 Upper, if I remember correctly, he's there. And on CVS 2 or CVS 1, I don't remember which.
CVS 2, I believe. It's been a long time since I played it. It's been a long time.
I need to get my hands on that collection. I've been trapped on the PS2 version of that game for so fucking long. I want to play him on an actual arcade version if possible.
Yeah, do it now when people are still playing online and stuff. Though you might end up running into the Wazzler, but
I mean, I'm willing to tank Justin Wong beating the shit out of me. I'm a fighting game player. I play grapplers. I'm used to the pain. I'm used to it.
Okay, since we're on the topic of the CBS2 and the whole collection thing,
yeah,
I do want to bring up the music, the remixes that they did for freaking Power Stone 2, CBS 2, and Project Justice are phenomenal. Yeah. I'm surprised at how much effort they put into those musics.
It makes me fucking miss the fact that we don't have the OG Rival Schools, because the OG Rival Schools for me has the best soundtracks out of the
and
series.
They remixed it. They got so many remixes on that thing.
Yeah,
it's crazy how much work they put into it compared to Marvel vs. Capcom Evolution, or whatever
Capcom
gem one, whatever the fighting gem was. Yeah, the collection, because that one only had maybe.
Oh wait, you mean the first fighting
songs?
Collection? The first fighting collection didn't have any remixes. Collection.
Okay, so then there's the Marvel one then.
The Marvel one had new remixes, but it was an update that came later on, because they tried to patch some stuff up on I think it was Marvel 2. And they just decided to add new art and 4 new songs, which was for 4 characters of Marvel 1, if I remember correctly. Captain America, Jean, Captain Commando, and Cyclops.
Yeah, see, they only put like a few songs in, but in this one they just went all out.
Yeah, they just
Like, I'm
went
surprised.
ham. They do the new renditions for everything. Granted, there is no surpassing the OG versions of the themes for CVS2. There's no surpassing. They are
like
iconic.
True Love We're Making was True Love We're Making was not passed, but the God Rugal theme, it is better. I don't know if you heard it. You should give it a listen to. To me, it is better. In fact, I'm about to see if it's on YouTube right now, real quick.
I wonder if you can actually customize that. You can choose which themes you want and which announcer you want. I'm guessing not. It will depend on the version you actually want to play.
It's only old or new from what I've seen.
Damn. Oh well. I'm down to actually testing out the new ones and see how it fits on the game. Some of the remixes are really good too, so worth it.
It's amazing. As I said, they didn't have to put any effort, especially into old games like Power Stone.
I mean, I guess the advantage of Power Stone and Project Justice, and to an extent, I think CVS 2 and 1, it's the fact that they were more home console games, so the files from the CDs were quote unquote easier to get than the arcade versions of games. So they just give them a free leeway to actually just remix those, having the high quality versions of those old versions. That's at least what I think it happened. That's why we have these new remixes.
Good on them though, because again, those musics are so freaking good. I'm about to listen to one right now. Yeah, those musics are so
also,
good.
The art, having HD versions of those artworks is going to be fun.
It's so weird that sometimes Capcom just do like the weirdest things, and then sometimes they just lock in and they just go ham and show the love for they have to for their collection stuff.
To be honest, will you actually? I'm still surprised they actually cared about including Fighting Jam, Fighting Evolution. It's just why.
Oh, you mean that old game? Oh, jeez. Okay, so funny story about that. I remember when I was younger, I saved my money up. I used to love playing fighting games for the single player content because fighting against PC and usually they have like an arcade mode, so they had a little bit of story. I bought Capcom Fighting Jam from GameStop. Walked all the I don't want to say walk. I took the bus, went all the way to the mall, went to GameStop, bought that game. And I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna play a new fighting game. Yes, it's gonna be fun. Went home, unpacked the CD and everything, put it into my PlayStation, turned it on, played it for a little bit. I played it for maybe an hour. I ran as fast as I could to get back to the mall. I had to refund it.
Oh my god.
I was like, this is trash. This is Lil Me was like, this is garbage. I want this.
It looked like a
please take it back.
Bad game, dude. Oh my god.
It's so bad. I don't even know what it was because I don't remember. I guess the feel of it was bad. The presentation, everything about it it hit the wrong marks.
I mean, just from the get-go, right? You have a clash of completely different sprite work. Like you have sprites from Alpha, from Street Fighter 3, from Red Earth. It's a mess. It's such a mess.
Terrible mess. And it was so bad. And you know what? The guy pitied me too. Because they don't take refunds if you open the disc, but he's like, we'll get you your money back.
Yeah, no. That guy was a savior on that one. Because if you don't get a refund on that game, holy god, dude.
Because I was like, give me my money back. This is garbage.
Straight up cheeks. It was awful. But still, I'm surprised they actually decided to include it. That and that weird alpha version. Which I'm guessing it's the PSP version? Like, if I remember correctly, the last...
I don't think so, because the PSP version is... No, it might be. Because it has T-Hawk in it. Yeah.
Funny enough, I remember the Game Boy Advance having T-Hawk, but there was one version that had all the DLC characters from the console-exclusive versions.
Right.
So, I don't know which version was it. Like, it was the PSP or the PS1. No, the PS1 didn't have it. The PSP has to be. I'm not really
yeah, it has to be the PSP version. Either way, poor T-Hawk, I never realized how dirty they did him in that game.
Oh my god.
Until I start seeing all the video posts that appeared on freaking the Bird site. It was poor T-Hawk, and I'm like, oh, what did they do to this man?
I don't know.
He's on a tier of his own. He is that bad.
Jesus Christ.
But it's good that they brought back a bunch of old games. Again, Power Stone. I know a lot of people didn't play Power Stone. I love Power Stone. Personally, I prefer 1 over 2, but Power Stone is cool, and I love that they bring that back. And I'm hoping that they're kind of using this. Yeah, I know. I'm so happy that they did too, because they're fun freaking party arena fighters.
Oh yeah,
they really were.
And now they have online.
I'm wondering. Oh, and it has online. So it's like, are they using this as an experiment, a possible experiment of seeing if people are interested in Power Stone?
I mean, because people said the exact same thing for the games on the first collection, like the first Capcom collection. And so far, I'm not seeing anything with Darkstalkers, but who knows? Because that first collection was dominated by fucking Darkstalkers game. All of them were there. It was so good. I don't know what. To be fair, I don't know what it is about Darkstalkers. It sounds like every time I hear about it, it sounds like the fans are so gun-ho they want a new Darkstalkers. But every time that they usually bring like here's a Darkstalkers remastered HD version, it never sells well. Because people are tired of re-releases and remasters of old games. I mean, to be fair, this re-release of Darkstalkers was kind of necessary because if I remember correctly, the last re-release for a Darkstalkers game in general was Resurrection on PS3. So this was kind of necessary for conservation.
Yeah. So I feel like Capcom is very wary of trying to make another Darkstalkers because they don't trust the fans enough to actually buy a new one. So it is kind of on the fans' fault, but it's also kind of on Capcom's fault because they haven't done anything new with it. They keep redoing old remasters, pretty much. They're taking the old games like, here, play it. Do you like it? Why aren't you playing it? Oh, I guess you don't love Darkstalkers. We ain't making another one. It's like, no, Capcom, make something new.
Jesus Christ.
Do something new with the IP. That's what we want.
I mean, they have now these collections as new IPs, so who knows? Maybe we get another collection of games.
Maybe. It's a possibility. I'm hoping that they'll experiment more.
Oh, yeah.
They have such a rich freaking library of all kinds of different IPs that they haven't really used.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping one day they'll start working on these more, because again, they're back on being Cap Gods. They're back on their freaking golden era. I want them to make use of it. Monster Hunter Wild sold like hotcakes.
Monster Hunter
Street Fighter is
literally just what the name says, is wild.
Street
Fighter 6 is selling really well. Yep. What's next for Capcom actually? Like outside of those two, what's up?
Chances are we're probably going to be seeing something about Resident Evil 9.
Probably.
There has been teasers in their what was it, like their celebration for Resident Evil 4, I think it was, where they kept constantly showing like the number 9 in some way or form. It was like hidden, but you would see it.
Okay, so another Resident Evil, that would be cool.
So we'll probably get another Resident Evil, and I'm looking forward to it because Resident Evil is fun. Dragon's Dogma did decent, but unfortunately, at least for me, because I was a diehard Dragon's Dogma fan when it first came out, the original, and I bought like so many different copies of the goddamn Dark Arisen one. And I hate myself for it, but it was a step. Okay, so it was like a sidestep instead of being a full-on upgrade. Like they did some things right, but then they did some things wrong that was right in the first game.
I mean,
so it kind of hurt
to give them
like the monster.
To give them the benefit of the doubt. It's been what, a good couple of years between the first and the second game, so some things can be lost to time.
Maybe. I don't know. I feel like it would be easy to look up some YouTube videos. I don't know, man. It could have been done so much better. The monster variety wasn't there for one. You were fighting the same monsters for like it is cool at first, but then as you get further into the game, you realize, oh, I'm still fighting the same goblins, the same golems, and it's crazy because they have a huge variety of monsters from the Dark Arisen games and from their freaking their online one. Yes, they had an actual Dragon's Dogma online game. It was like a gacha game and it was free to play. You can only play in Japan, but yes, I played it. I'm sorry, as I said, I was diehard Dragon Dogma then. And they had a huge variety of monsters and a huge variety of freaking vocations that they didn't use. So it sucks because they had cool stuff that they could have easily pulled from both of their past games that they didn't do. And, I'm mad because I love that game, but I was like, I wish I got this on the PC because it obviously needed the help of modders to fix some of the glaring issues, which they actually did. So at some point, I do plan on getting it on the PC. But yeah, Dragon's Dogma was a sidestep instead of being like a straight up upgrade. It's so decently because it wasn't like a huge flagship game. It was like a cult classic.
Yeah,
but for a cult classic, it's so decent well.
Yeah, it was the second game on a very technically short series so far compared to other ones at the very least that Capcom has.
Yeah.
Which I think is a perfect time to say, if you're doing collections for fighting games, right? Will it hurt to have a... Oh wait, no, we have that. Never mind. I was about to say, can we have a Mega Man one? Well, we have it. We have for every single Mega Man.
We have one, and please Capcom, for the love of God, it's time for a new Mega Man.
Mega Man 12 or Mega Man, another Mega Man next, depending.
Either or, I'm gonna throw my hat to the wind. Mega Man Legends 3, please.
Do we have available?
I might have a little bit of a bias.
Do we have a collection or a bundle of those first two
Nope.
games for Legends? Then we need to bring those back then. Maybe an RPG Capcom collection with that, some Breath of Fire games, and that's that. Maybe.
Breath of Fire would be good too. They have RPG games that they don't even use anymore. Breath of Fire was a good series until the Dragon Quarter, which was like a weird tower RPG game. It was weird. But yeah, they had a series with like that. They should bring that back. Oh, I just remembered. Omnimusho. They're gonna bring that back.
Oh yeah, there's a new game coming up. Yeah.
Yes. And it looks good, and it's not going to be a Souls-like. Don't get me wrong, I love Souls-like. I'm just happy that it's not going to be a Souls-like.
It's a Souls-like from Capcom, so it's going to be something interesting to see, because they usually, if they go that route, they make it more action-oriented than actual Souls-like. So we might have a Sekiro on our hands instead of an actual
Maybe. It just doesn't seem like they're going to use, like, the whole Souls-like elements, like the bonfire kind of thing, and collect this experience. It's going to be more... It looks like they're trying to go like the Resident Evil route, how Onimusha was. It pretty much was Resident Evil with swords.
Yeah, Onimusha, it looks like they're still going. Onimusha and DMC1 were like that. It was Resident Evil, but with a few new gimmicks to differentiate them from actual Resident Evil. You have more action stuff, but the action on Onimusha was more slower than it was with DMC. DMC was a little bit more fast-paced. And with a lot more
super
platforming,
stylish,
which I hate with my every single fire. I hate the platforming on the MC1. It's so awful. I don't know how people defend that shit.
To be fair, those were like bonus rounds most of the time. Most.
No.
There was definitely some platform. I mean, I'm not even gonna lie.
There was a lot of like necessary. There wasn't a lot. But there? No, there wasn't a lot. But the platforming that was actually necessary was the most pain in the ass platforming I've ever seen in my entire life. And I like platformer games. That's the worst part.
Was it the camera angle that got you?
The camera angle was what fucked me over on the platforming sections. That was the key to it. But even then, the platforming wasn't even really any good to begin with.
It was. It's. You didn't play it for the platform. You played it to shoot monsters and use store combos. That's what you played DMC for.
Yeah, and the one game that I don't have to platform practically at all. It's the most boring game in the series, which is DMC 2.
I never played it. I'm glad I never did.
Yeah. You save yourself. Friends. Save yourself. You're going to end up on a coma for how bored you're going to get.
I have a friend who will fight to the death of that game. I'm just like, I don't see it. I seen some videos of it. This is all I heard. Pew 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 pew. That's all I saw.
I mean, you can use the sword. It's kinda better, but you're better off just shooting stuff up because there's no penalty for it. You still do damage. You still keep people away. And for the bosses, it's kind of ideal because you don't have to deal with their bullshit gimmicks that push you back.
Yeah, but the problem with the sword is that there was no variety to it. You pretty much like slash 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 slash. That was it. That
Yeah.
was the whole combo.
The swords were just that. They were just swords. There was no
They-
variety like in DMC3, like you have a nunchucks, you have 2 swords instead of 1, or something like that. There wasn't like anything like that.
No, it wasn't, and that's why DMC2 is probably the worst of the series. And if they decide to do remakes, full scale remakes like they did with like Resident Evil 4 and RE2,
Oh.
DMC2 will probably be perfect for it.
1, 2, and 3 fully remastered remake will be so fucking good. I just
Oh,
imagine
it-
it fucking DMC3 with DMC5 mechanics. It was so good.
It would be amazing.
It will
But
be so good.
again, the only reason I'm saying I think they should do DMC2 because that was such a big stain on the freaking besides DMC was a big stain on the legacy of Devil May Cry,
And to be
and
fair,
no one actually played it really.
to be fair to DMC Devil May Cry, at the very least that game, gameplay wise, was fun.
I
The o-
agree, and people
and
will fight me to the death for it.
I prefer being angry at the story than being bored to a coma. So thank
Yes.
you for that. Actually.
Yes, I agree 100%. Again, I had people try to fight me to the death over saying like, I think the gameplay is fun, and then they look at me like I am the devil, and I was like, what? The story sucked. We can admit that, but the gameplay was solid.
I mean, I cannot talk about the story about DMC2 ever because I
Yeah.
was so bored by the gameplay. The only thing I remember about that game is the main dude looking like fucking dollar discount Heihachi Mishima, and that's it. That's all I remember. I don't remember anything else. Maybe the last line of Dante, which is I don't even know. It was just Dante pointing a gun in a cool pose. That was it.
That eats.
And
yeah.
a highway to
They
hell.
even make-
And a highway to hell
They even-
reference. That's it.
Was it? I don't remember.
It was
well, I never
literally,
played, so
it was
I never did.
literally
There's no way to talk
Dante.
about that game.
It was literally just Dante on a bike riding on a road that was literally on hell. It was just a highway to hell. That's it. That's the reference, and I kind of love it for it. I kind of just love that. That's the only aspect of DMC2 that I love. That's it. Because I like AC/DC. That's it.
I was gonna say, I just remember like people were so down on Dante and DMC2, like even Beautiful Joe. The Dante and Beautiful Joe made a reference to DMC2 saying that was not him. That was his clone Bob or somebody named Bob or some weird crap like that. Somebody who just wasn't him. And I was just like, that game must have did terrible.
Yeah, there's the game did terrible, but it did bring some stuff up. Like lore-wise, it was a continuation. The outfit from DMC2 Dante is still one of the best he has.
Yeah, I've been hearing people saying it too.
Yeah, that's it.
That
If you
That's why-
want to experience this series, skip DMC2. That's the only one I can say for sure. You're not missing much. And there is a recap for all the DMC games anyway on DMC5. So once you reach that one, that'll be it.
See, that's why I'm on the camp of they need to remake DMC2.
DMC2 and
because
DMC1
for
both.
that.
DMC2 and
Yeah.
DMC1 both, because
DMC1 doesn't stand the test of time exactly, but it's
No,
still
I don't.
it's still kind of fun. It has its moments.
it has its moments, but it has its bullshit too. Like
It does.
some of the bosses are basically impossible, and there is one that it's basically unplayable. Fucking great! Who the fuck thought that you need to be on a boat to fight a bird? To fight a bird that throws everything at you, like throws lightning bolts,
Double
it
trigger.
flies. It doesn't work.
That was-
It doesn't
It does- okay,
fucking
so I
work.
know it works because I was crazy in my youth and I would play games on stuff like Dante Must Die. I beat
Oh
that
my
game on Dante Must Die. I don't know why I did it, and I question myself now, but
if I remember correctly, DMD was Dante gets one shot, but you one shot people too. So in that case, I kind of believe it because you just need
I think it
to
was,
shoot him or hit him once, and that's it. That will be
There was
actually
another
more
mo-
acceptable.
I don't think it was like that one. There
There's
was another harder mode. There might have been another one, but I know there was one where enemies would practically one shot you and you couldn't do that to them.
Yeah,
so you had
no,
to find
yeah.
all the cheap ways to
Yeah.
do it. And Devil Trigger helped me during that fight, and lightning, and pray that he never touched me.
Holy shit.
Double jump, lightning, lightning, lightning. Please don't touch me. That was my go-to strategy.
My strategy to that fight was just just fucking load up on holy water and spam the shit out of it. Kill him in 2.
Yeah, if you got those.
That's a better strat. Just save myself the
probably
because it's not worth
But you have to save those. DMC, or I don't remember whatever the hardest mode was that made me suffer. You have to save your items as much as you can.
Yeah.
There are so many moments where I was like, I want to kill you, you have no health, but if I go near you, I know you are going to devastate my soul, so I'm going to sit here and shoot you with ivory and pray you don't come near me.
Good luck doing that with Nightmare, though. Good luck doing that with Nightmare.
It might have been Nightmare then. That might have been the mode where you couldn't one-shot them, because I know it was a mode where you had to fight for your life. And
yeah, no, Nightmare has this one attack that it's almost unavoidable, and it just sucks you into another dimension, and you need to fight your way back up. It's
Jesus
awful, but it's more doable than Griffon on the boat. I'm still on that. It's more doable than Griffon on a boat. Griffon, it's a fun boss fight if you have the correct stage to do it, like that one garden you fight him in, or the Coliseum. Those were so good. Those were really good. But I still think the fucking boat, it's the bane of my existence. I hate it.
You know what? Let's remake DMC. Though, it's kind of funny because DMC was the only Devil May Cry where enemies had like finishing moves.
Enemies had finishing.
Maybe. Yes, enemies had. If you had low health and you get hit by a certain attack, they would actually hit you with like a Mortal Kombat fatality move.
Huh.
There was stuff like that, like Phantom or whatever, the Shadow Lion.
Yeah. Phantom.
One of his moves, it'll grab you. Well, if it grabs you and you have low health, it will just explode and Dante will disintegrate. He'll be gone.
Yeah.
There was stuff like that. The scissor Grim Reapers dudes, they would just stab you right through your torso with the scissors, and then you just lift your body up. And I think a bunch of blades would kind of hit you. Maybe it's been a while since I see it, but yeah, it was the only one that had like finishing moves on Dante.
Yeah.
Because at that point they were still kind of on the idea of it being more like Resident Evil.
Yeah, they still had some of those Resident Evil isms in them.
Yeah, they had those mannerisms in there, so you would see like if you were low on health, they could literally murder Dante. Though at that point, it was like, no, let's just stop doing that because Dante literally could take swords through his chest and just walk it off. So it makes sense now that I think about it.
Yeah, what's the point in having a guy that can take a stab on the fucking chest and live through it multiple times to give fucking finishing moves to the enemies? It's not
to the enemies. It was kind of like a cool little thing, but at the same time, it's like Dante's probably too strong to be having enemies doing that stuff to him.
True. Hell.
But yeah. Definitely remake DMC 1, definitely remake DMC 2. Honestly, I would love a whole remake for all the series, but if I had to choose like between two of them, 1 and 2 for sure.
I mean, the ones that needed the most are just the first 3. It's just for the sake of they are trapped on the PS2 era of graphics. And combat-wise, DMC 3 outside of the Switch version, it's super outdated compared to the rest of them. Like having the liberty of switching between the stances of Dante on the fly, since DMC4 was a lifesaver for Dante. Because having to play through the game on just one single style, unless you're playing the Switch version, that's all you get. Like you have to play it on one, and then you have to level it up, and then you have to do that again with the next one, and the next one, and the next one. It's painful.
Yeah, so definitely need to remake those 2 games.
Yeah,
the 3 games actually. Okay, one more thing I want to talk about.
Yeah,
just because since we somehow got to the Capcom boat.
Yeah,
we're getting a new Okami. I'm so happy.
Yes, I didn't like much Okami, which is funny. Like I got a little burned out by the fact that once you defeat Orochi the first time, the game just decides to keep going. It feels like the ending, but it keeps going. Then I defeat the second boss, and it feels the fucking keep going. And again, it's just why?
Because I guess it was the story of you going through generations. Because you was helping that one dude. I don't remember his name.
Susano.
Who had like Susanoo?
See, I think it was Susano.
Susano.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I remember you helping him. The only thing I really remember him is like every time he get hit, he would just lose his clothes, and it was weird. But he you were pretty much helping him for the first one, and then the second one, were you still helping him?
No, the second one you were more or less trying to free the world a little bit, like little by little from the rest of the control of the demons in general. Like because Orochi wasn't actually the actual boss. It was technically another person, and then you went to the capital and fight that thing over there that I don't remember what the fuck it was. And then
It's been so long since I played. I barely remember that game.
Then you go fight Then you go to the mountains, fight the owls, and then you go to the actual boat that goes to the moon, and then go do a Mega Man style boss rush, and then that's the game. That's it.
If it's one thing Capcom loves to do is that freaking Mega Man boss rushes. Jesus.
I actually admit the boss rush was super fun though at the end. Even though I don't like the pacing of the story, the boss fights and the platforming and everything else was super fun, and I love it for it because I love a good platformer. I have a soft spot for it.
And Okami was a good game from what I remember. It definitely was overdrawn. I remember playing when I was younger. And I remember at some point I was like, it's still going.
Yeah, the pacing of the game feels like it just draws on and on and on. Because every chapter, it feels like you're watching Avatar: The Last Airbender, right? It feels like every single time you defeat a boss, you finish a book. You finish book 1 defeating Orochi. You finish book 2 defeating the other boss that I don't remember what it is. You finish book 3 defeating another boss. You finish book 4 defeating the owls. And on the last book, you're on the boat doing the boss rush. You defeat the very last boss on book 4, and you're done. It feels like that, but all in just one package, and it just feels like it's too much. Like some of this stuff could be better left off for another game. Maybe I'm just too used for PS2 games being relatively short, story-wise, and maybe that's because it feels like it's drawn out. But
it kind of felt like it was like Capcom's first attempt at making like a Zelda-like, you know?
I mean,
and I think that's kind of one of the reasons why they kind of went in that direction.
It kind of feels like that because you have this huge overworld that you need to go back and forth all over the place.
Yeah.
I think you have a fast travel, but it doesn't work very well, and you still need to go from one point to another from one point. And it's still a considerable distance, so that's why it feels like that. You have a lot of travel to do.
Yeah, it was surprisingly big, so...
I'll be real quick, I need to use the bathroom again.
Alright, no, you good. But no, I remember that game was fun. Alright, gotta fill the air. Okami good. Okami good. I'm glad we're getting another Okami. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm so happy that we're gonna get one. I need to play the original Okami again because my memory of it is sadly I don't remember it as well as I want to. I just remember I had a lot of fun playing it. I love that the freaking dog was Amaterasu was able to do like suplexes, Izuna drops, attacking with giant swords and brushes and whatnot, or was it like a mirror? It was a really fun game. I enjoyed it. So I'm happy that we're gonna get a chance for Okami 2. You know, there was one for the DS. I think it was.
Okami
and I never
Den.
had a chance to play it.
Okami Den.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a friend that it's very much just an Okami nut, and he always said Okami Den didn't happen. Okami Den didn't happen. It
was
like,
it bad?
I guess so. He just always says that. I don't know why.
It never happened.
It never happened. So this new Okami, as far as I know, it's being made by the original people of the first game. So yeah, it's going to be fun.
Yeah, so hopefully we'll get the same charm that it has before.
Yeah.
Okay, one more thing I have to say though. Since Hideki, it's Hideki, right?
I think it's Hideki Kamiya.
Yeah. Okay. Since he's coming back,
Mm-hmm.
dear God, please give us another beautiful Joe. I pray to you, please give us another beautiful Joe. I want a beautiful Joe.
Clover Studio in general needs to bring a lot of IPs from there. Like,
yes.
Beautiful Joe, Killer 7. Okami now is on the way, so we know that one. Fucking Killer 7 too will be fucking nuts. So think about
that
it.
would be nuts.
Although kind of unnecessary. I don't know about the ending of Killer
Well,
7
maybe
if you
not.
look up to.
Didn't it finish like it was a definite finish of the story?
Yeah, I think it was a definite finish of the story.
So maybe like what's the word I'm looking for?
Oh,
Like
maybe
another story around it.
maybe another God Hand, but with Bayonetta mechanics.
Oh my god! Yes, please. Okay, I know God
So
Hand.
good.
It has its issues. I know it has its issues, but it was still fun. At least I remember. I remember the good
was-
times. I don't remember the bad. Thank God.
It was the closest thing to a JoJo game without being a JoJo game.
Yes. No, I don't know if it will stand to the test of time per se.
No, there are some
So-
jokes in there that I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it would piss some people off.
Yeah, that.
But I would like. Okay, if we don't get a remake, I don't think we should have a remake. Maybe a remaster, but
I mean,
not a remake.
if they do any of those
Um,
things, they are going to censor the game in some way, shape, or form.
Yeah, I kind of want it to still have its like. I want it to have its edge, and I want them to have like a disclaimer saying that this was, a different era in time.
Yeah.
I feel like people should have the chance to play it when it was like just to see what it was like in the 90s, pretty much, and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
if they make another God Hand, for sure, it definitely got to change the tone a bit. I'm gonna say that right now because it definitely had some offensive jokes that will definitely not fly now, for
Oh,
sure. But ignoring that part, the gameplay was freaking fun, and I think people should have a chance to experience it.
Yeah. There is a reason
That's-
why there is no English dub on the newer Yakuza games, except for newer ones. I'm talking about no English dub on the Kiwami games, for example. Because those games were dubbed on a different time. Oh.
Yeah. Oh my God, Yakuza 1 or Yakuza 1.
Yeah,
I
I played that on stream recently, and yeah, the first interaction with Yuya just sent me off something fierce. It was funny, but it was also kind of dangerous.
It was using the slammers. Oh, I'm not gonna say the whole joke, but I just remember people still meme on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was definitely a product of its time.
Yeah.
Because it's evolving the Yakuza or is Yakuza. And they're kind of like gangsters and such like that, but the way how they sound and the way how the Americans sound back then, American gangsters and the mafia and whatnot,
Yeah.
the tone fit in a sense, but it was definitely bad.
It was definitely bad.
Like, it was Americanized. I'm gonna say that, but it was still bad. Now it doesn't really fit. I don't think it fits because it's surprisingly the game is really mature. No,
Yeah.
the story is mature. It's silly. The side quest is silly. It feels like it's a whole different universe when you do the side quest. But when you're doing the main story, it's definitely more mature.
Yes.
So I don't know. Yeah, they couldn't do what they did back then with what they do now. But now they're starting to dub those games again. So
Yeah, they were doing that since Yakuza Like a Dragon, like,
yeah,
since they started the
but
Ichiban
they
stuff. And now
they know how to tone themselves now.
Yeah, now they're doing
Is what I
that to Yakuza 0, which is funny.
Another 0?
Yeah, because this new Switch version is a new version of Yakuza 0 with actual English stuff. And a bunch of other stuff that I don't know what they are.
Why are we? Everything's getting remastered. I feel like we don't need. We need new stuff. Dang it!
I mean,
It feels like everybody's afraid of making new games. But go
I
ahead. Sorry.
guess so, but when it comes to Yakuza 0 specifically, I don't like to believe it, but we are closing in. We are 2 years away from that game being 10 years old. Yes, it doesn't need a remaster.
And I just felt myself turn to dust.
Yeah, it doesn't need a remaster, but the assets are right there. And they are adding new content to it, so it's not pointless. It could be just a simple re-release for half the price, or they could just do something new, which it's what they're doing. Like, I remember seeing the first trailer for the game, and believe it or not, in just a couple of fucking frames, I saw two non-playable characters fighting each other, with health bars on each side.
Oh,
So what I'm
yeah, that was
so what
yeah,
I'm
I do remember that.
imagining So what I imagine this game is going to do, outside of giving everybody an English dub, they are going to add online to that game. And online fights. You can actually pick between all the characters of the fucking game to fight. That would be
awesome, actually. Holy crap.
Stupidly fun. But that's going to be trapped on the Switch. That's what pisses me off a little.
No, yeah, it's going to be on the Switch. They might move it to PC at some point. It depends on how big of how locked in the contract is.
And how
they might not have like exclusive. They might have a time exclusive.
Most likely. That's my hope, at least.
Because you're gonna need a Switch 2 to play some online.
I mean, that will make two things that are trapped on the Switch that I actually want to try out. God damn it! Like they have also the only version of DMC3 that allows you to switch Dante's stances on the fly. It's the only one. Like it's the only version of DMC3 that does that, and I hate it. I want to do that on 3. That sounds fun as hell.
It's such a good feature. I mean, there's a lot. Surprisingly, the modding community on that series is really locked in. So there is definitely switching stance mods for that series.
Definitely there is.
Just like how people took Like a Dragon and somehow turned it back into a beat 'em up.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's actual mods out there to play like the old school Yakuza. Which I kind of want to jump in at some point because that's the only reason I haven't really got into Like a Dragon and whatnot. And don't get me wrong, I know some people are like the series need to change. It's fine with being turn-based, and I will not question anybody who wants to play turn-based. I just grew up on it being like a beat 'em up for so long that it's hard for me to transition to the turn-based style that they try to slip into.
Yeah. The funny enough, only the games that focus on Kiryu are still beat 'em ups. And Kiryu and Majima both, because the new pirate game for Majima, it's just full-on combat, which is something I absolutely adore. The combat that
they
Majima
got air
does
combos and crap.
Yeah, he looks so fucking fun. And they did supposedly they did the same to Kiryu. They did the same to Kiryu on the one like pseudo pre-sequel game for Yakuza 8. The man with no
the
name.
man without name.
Yeah.
With no name.
That's a combat only one. It's no RPG. So
well, I think they said that spin-offs are still going to remain as beat 'em ups, but all the main line titles now are going to stick to the Dragon Quest like fighting style.
Yeah, which is fine. I'm down with that. Plus, that gives the series and kind of an identity if you really think about it. Like so far, all the spin-offs, Ishin, A Man with No Name, and Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii, all of them are focused on either Kiryu or Majima in some way, shape, or form, and all of them are just combat, just straight up classic Yakuza combat. Then you have the mainline games from Yakuza Like a Dragon to Yakuza Infinite Wealth that are focused on Ichiban mostly, and those are RPGs.
Yeah, and you know it fits him because he has an active imagination, or some people say he's schizo, but yeah, no, he has active imagination, and he just like for some reason he just really likes Dragon Quest. I guess was that like a story kind of thing?
I don't know. Really I still have to play that game. I actually want to play it. I have like a Dragon still.
Yeah, it's a good series, and it's his thing, so it makes sense. Like that's just how he views the world when he's into fights. That's just how it is. And Kiryu, he got his combat, and you know what? Funny enough, Majima, with how crazy he is, his combat makes sense.
Pretty much
for him. So.
Yeah, his fighting style makes sense because he's the mad dog of Shimano. He's still a fucking crazy lunatic.
So some of the moves that he said, it might be in his head, but you know what? It fits because that's him. Like he's doing summons and whatnot. And it's like it fits. And I don't know if there's actually a lore explanation why he's able to split himself like he's Naruto, but either way, that's just Majima.
Yeah, they gave him amnesia, so fuck it, why not?
Right? That's why I'm fine with the series going in the direction it does, because you know what? Sometimes you just need change. Just like how Final Fantasy is pretty much no longer turn-based. That's fine with the Yakuza series going turn-based, you know? Sometimes it does just have different looks and different ones for their series. though people will fight you on Final Fantasy,
I mean,
especially with half the expedition.
to be fair, turn-based RPGs nowadays are really kind of slow compared to what other games are offering. That everything in modern gaming is just fast-paced or some kind of fast. So turn-based RPG are just destined to be just left in the dust.
I'm not gonna say it's left in dust because there's still definitely people out there who are making turn-based games.
Yeah.
Shoot, we just had one Expedition 33.
Expedition 33.
Amazing.
Hell, going
amazing.
The remake for Persona 3 is still a turn-based RPG, so that's that too.
Yeah, all the Persona series,
Metaphor.
Yeah. I didn't play it, so I'm not too familiar with it. Bravely Default, Dragon Quest. We said that multiple times.
Yeah, there's still
turn-based is still gonna be around.
Yeah, there's still a place for turn-based RPGs.
Baldur's Gate.
Although Baldur's Gate kind of has to be like that because it's basically just the closest thing you will get to a D&D campaign in form of a video game.
Yeah. No, that's big true. And that's why people love it. So turn-based is not going to go away. No. The people who keep complaining like, oh no, I don't know if you're aware of it. Everybody, ever since Expedition 33 came out, a lot of the turn-based heads started saying, Final Fantasy is going to make turn-based. This is how it should be, blah, 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 blah. There's going to be turn-based games out there for you. The people who make Final Fantasy, Squareheads, they have a different vision. They never really wanted to be turn-based the way they were. It was just a limitation of the hardware at the time. The chances of you getting the turn-based game in the same Final Fantasy turn-based game is very slim. But if you really want them to notice that there's turn-based games out there, buy their other games, buy their other series, Bravely Default, and all the other stuff.
Plus,
show that you have interest in their turn-based games, and if you're lucky, even if they don't make a Final Fantasy game that's turn-based, they can still make a turn-based game in that same kind of fantasy genre with a different name, but still have like the budget of a Final Fantasy game. You gotta compromise in a way, show them that you want it. What?
I kind of have the feeling that's not going to happen. Like, they are so deep in on trying new stuff with the newer Final Fantasies that's
what I'm saying. Like, they need try to get them to make a new series by showing how much love that you have for other turn-based games. So while it won't be Final Fantasy, maybe it'll be called
something
Lost
else.
Sci-fi or something.
Yeah, it'll be something else. Because the Final Fantasy games, depending on the game, they vary on theming like very heavily. Like, it's not the same going from Final Fantasy 6 to Final Fantasy 7. It's not the same going from 7 to 10. So the theming of a new game, it's going to feel like a Final Fantasy no matter what. And
absolutely.
If you still like the OG, like turn-based RPG stuff, they keep re-releasing the old games too. Like
that's true.
They keep re-releasing and remaking some of them. Like Dragon Quest is remaking the first two games at the moment, if I remember correctly, in this style of Octopath Traveler, if I remember correctly. So there's still technically newer ones.
Yeah. It's just weird that it's just they want Final Fantasy just to be turn-based for some reason, and they don't want to compromise. It's weird. I don't understand.
I don't know.
I kind of don't understand it.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but there is still turn-based elements in Final Fantasy VII, both remake and rebirth, right?
Okay, so they do have a turn-based mode. They do technically have a turn-based mode where the game will completely freeze, and then you select attack or whatever move you want, and the AI itself will do it. Mm-hmm. But I don't know if we would say it's like completely turn-based in the sense of like old Final Fantasy VII. Mm. They also make it so like their special mechanic in that game is also like they make it so your regular attacks don't really do much damage. What you're doing the regular attacks for is to build up your ATB bar, so you can use your actual moves that will actually hurt the monsters. That's kind of like their way of doing turn-based. So technically, they kind of have a turn-based, but it's not exactly turn-based.
Yeah,
people will still fight you on that. Let me put it like that. So people will fight you on.
Gotcha. Like if they are trying to just compromise a little and make the gameplay a little more fast-paced, if I remember correctly, when it comes to FF7, you can still choose your moves, you can still choose the order, or
Yeah.
you can still do other things, but in the heat of the moment.
It's more
Uh,
action packed in the heat of the
yeah.
moment. That's kind of how they did it. Honestly, as I said before, Final Fantasy, the people who made Final Fantasy, it always felt like the only reason that they went turn based was because of the limitations of the hardware. Because when it comes to Final Fantasy, they always want things to be bombastic, huge, explosive. That's always been their way.
Yeah, and
Summons, gods, just huge production values. That's how it's always been with Final Fantasy.
plus, to be fair, that's kind of the coolest thing they are doing so far. That's kind of the reason why I want to play the more newer ones, because they are more action oriented.
Yep. And I always been an action head, so this fits my it fills my bucket. So I'm happy, but some of the old turn-based dudes, they're not happy.
Oh, of
But
course.
I'm happy that they're going this direction. I love Final Fantasy 16, the boss battles. The story has its moments of being slow.
Yeah.
It gets slow at certain points. Like when you're on the main story, oh yeah, it's fine. The side quests, skip it if you can, unless you're trying to do everything. But if you're not, skip it. But the boss battles, once you get to the freaking boss battles, it's so good. It is so crazy, over the top, and just fun to go through. I'm so happy that they made a mode where you can actually revisit those fights because they're that fun to do. And the music that plays during them, they go so crazy. Have you played it?
No, I still need to.
Okay, I don't want to spoil it. I'm just gonna say, as you go along, things get crazier and crazier in the goodest, the best ways.
I've seen it a little. Yeah, things go fucking. I love the fact that you can just transform into your summons. It's just so good. Fucking. Oh.
Yeah, it's just one because he's the embodiment of a freak. But
yeah, it's just
a freak goes ham.
Yeah, it's just the embodiment of a freak, but you still fight. It's cool.
So I was just a minor spoiler. I'm not.
Yeah,
because
just go
I don't
for
want to
it.
spoil the
Go
whole
for
game.
it. Go for it.
Okay, so it's funny because it kind of goes in the way of Clive's control over Ifrit, because when you first play it and you turn into your giant form, it looks like a Godzilla battle. In the sense of like the old school ones where they kind of like swing slowly at each other, like kind of like that.
Yeah.
Like that's the first battle. Then you get to the second battle, all of a sudden the freeze now suddenly he got mobility. He's actually moving to the side and he's shooting fireballs. So it's like, oh, this is freaking kind of cool. He's stepping up a bit. And then we get further into it, suddenly you're sprinting through a whole goddamn chasm, fighting a giant Gundam, and it just goes, it gets better and better as you play.
It goes from Godzilla to Gundam to Evangelion levels of speed.
Yes, as he gets better, as it gets better with the control of it free, and as things keep escalating, the combat gets better. Because you start slow, but it's still kind of cool. Then it gets more and more and more, and it just goes up and up and up. It's so cool. It's a good game. It's absolutely a good game. But again, Final Fantasy heads are turn-based dudes. They will fight you on it because it's no longer
traditional.
Turn-based, traditional. Yeah.
I mean,
to be fair, on their side, this is probably the most action Final Fantasy game that we have gotten.
It wasn't like Final Fantasy 14 and 15 like that?
14 is an MMO.
No, not the MMO. There was a Final Fantasy 14 that had Noctis in it. I don't remember if it was 14 or 15.
No, okay. 14 is the MMO. Like I play 14. 14 is the MMO. It did have Noctis in it as a kind of like a guest for an event.
Yeah.
But that one is, again, it's an MMO. It's kind of it. It's RPG.
Yeah.
It's definitely not action. Final Fantasy 15 is the one where Noctis is from.
There.
And that one is still, it is actiony a little bit, but it's still definitely more of an RPG. It's kind of like Kingdom Hearts Light.
Oh, okay, that makes more sense. So it's an action game with a lot of RPG elements.
Yeah. It's probably one of my favorite Final Fantasies. It's the most beautiful train wreck I've ever seen.
Most beautiful train wreck.
It's bad, but it's good.
It's bad, but it's good.
Like, they wanted to do so much with the story, but unfortunately, a little like this. Would you like to purchase this DLC to know what happens next?
No.
You're gonna be saying that a lot.
That sounds like Final Fantasy 14 too. Like that sounds like the MMO. I'm going to be starting that shit, and then I'm going to be.
Oh my gosh.
Assaulted.
Well, okay. To be fair, that was when it first originally came out, and you had to buy DLC to know what happened in the story. But now they got the Royal Edition, so you got everything there.
Jesus Christ.
But would you like to buy this book to know what actually happened in the end?
A book? For fuck's sake.
So the weird thing about Final Fantasy 15 is that they had planned DLC, like the Luna Frey DLC they were going to do, continuation of the story, because the story is goddamn depressing at the end, that would actually kind of fix everything. But unfortunately, I don't know if it was a budget thing or what, but they just decided not to do all the DLC that they had planned. So they made a book that actually shows what happens when Noctis goes a certain route instead of what happens in the game. So you have, and it's only in Japan. So you have to buy a book to get the good ending, or I'm not even gonna say it's better, but let's see, the happier ending.
The different
Final Fantasy 15.
The different.
Yes.
Ending.
It's a beautiful train wreck. I love it, and I'm happy to experience it, and I will still play it again, and I would actually recommend people to play it again, or to play it. Just know it's going to be a train wreck. That train is going to be on fire, and it's going to crash, and you're going to watch it in awe. That's what's going to happen.
Why do I hear Ozzy Osbourne screaming all aboard? It's just a fucking crazy train.
Jump on this train. We going.
Going on the rails on a crazy train.
that is Final Fantasy 15 in a nutshell. An amazing experience and a good story, but at the same time, everything's on fire. The book you're reading is on fire. That's Final Fantasy 15. You can put the book down. You want to stop the fire, but you can't. You're just so captured by the story of the book.
Jesus Christ.
I love it so. But I will always understand that people are down on it, because you know what? It kind of deserves it. If they ever make a remake of another Final Fantasy, I would love it to be Final Fantasy 15. I don't think it'll ever happen, but I will love it.
Yeah.
Because it's a beautiful train.
Beautiful train.
That's how I will always explain it. I'm sorry, it's my game. I love it.
I'll be real with you, Chief. I don't think 14 needs a remake, since I think it still holds up well to this day. Yeah, I think that one still holds up, to this day.
Yeah. I mean, there was a lot of stuff that he wanted to do. There definitely are some story elements that should have been explained, like again, Luna Frey, and one of the reasons why it was a train wreck was it kind of had the Xenogears effect, where you get to, once you get on the train, or once you get to a certain point, the story kind of starts zooming along, and you're like, wait, what happened? I thought we were going to new areas, new worlds. You obviously had plans for this place. What happened?
Oh, so
that's kind of what happens.
So it rushes you out to the finish line.
It starts rushing like hell, and you could tell they want to do so much, because one of the things, you're in this. So one of the places that you go to is this giant marina, where it's like a water city. People were, once it came out on PC, people were able to kind of make it so you could break the borders and go to everywhere you want. There's so many areas that have collision that you're able to just wander around and walk through, and places that are actually fully made. And I mean fully made, not just assets that they kind of slapped in there just to cover the background, fully made areas for you to walk around in. They had plans for it to be a lot bigger than it was. For a lot of the areas. Like the fact that they even have collision is one of the reasons why, because I'm gonna tell you right now, just somebody who worked in QA before, usually they will try to take out, if there's a place that you're not supposed to go, they'll take out the collision, because it's taking resources from the game. They don't want collision in certain areas. But the fact that they had collision in there and that they left it in shows that they wanted to actually utilize this area. Yeah, for the game. But unfortunately, because of time constraint, and because the game kind of got remade 50 times,
Jesus.
and unfortunately became the game that it was.
Damn.
So I mean, it does stand to the test time. If they don't remake it, yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
But I personally, from my heart to hearts, I know I want a remaster, a remake. But it's a good game on its own. Just a beautiful fire. I'm going to keep going back to that analogy every time I talk about it.
A beautiful cozy train.
There you go. It's a cozy train.
Yeah.
The caboose happens to be on fire.
I mean,
Just
yeah.
ignore that.
I would have thought the front was going to catch on fire for how much it rushes you, but yeah.
But it's a good game.
Yeah.
It's a good game. It's definitely good. I like the game. I like the combat system, which actually changed from the demo that they used to have, because they used to have multiple they have multiple demos of the game.
Huh.
One that you actually had to buy another game to get. So you had to buy Final Fantasy Type O to get the demo for Final Fantasy 15. Yes, I did it. Leave me alone.
Type O. God.
I love the series.
I mean, fair enough.
But Final Fantasy Type O was good. So I'm fine with that.
Yeah, you got it.
But okay, so the whole point of this whole thing is, though, it's just to show that Square has always wanted to kind of go into the more action-oriented direction than where it was from turn-based. It has been like that since, in my opinion, 10 and maybe 10-2. Some people will argue about that, but at least 12, you could tell that they definitely want to get away from being just strictly turn-based.
I mean, to be fair,
Yeah.
by that point there were 10 games of the series in. If you don't want to change after that, then I don't know what's going on.
I mean, you could get away from it because the thing that I loved RPGs for before it became harder for me to play turn-based games was that it was like reading or playing an interactive novel.
Yeah, but
Because I
pretty much. Yeah.
that's how I always saw RPGs back at the time, so I didn't mind it being turn-based in. But it also gave me the skill of playing games with one hand. I can now play games with one hand because of turn-based games, because they were so boring and I already knew what to do. So I will just, on fight sections, I'll play one hand and look at the PC because I'm in the random battle that I don't care about.
I mean, fair enough.
But that's how it's always been. So I kind of get that, but I'm happy that they went to a more action-oriented direction than it being turn-based.
Me too, honestly. Now
honestly,
that's more appealing to me. Like, I like the aesthetics of 7 of the original, but the RPG elements are a little bit. Although I'm willing to tank them, though. I'm willing to tank.
No, I agree. As I played Final Fantasy 7 I'd like played from the start to the end multiple times in my youth, and I'm gonna say right now, I did not play that goddamn game for the combat.
No,
I'm gonna say that right now. That combat.
I mean, to be
was
fair,
not that great.
It's a PS1. It's a PS1 RPG. Those are rough around the edges, but they are kind of good in some cases, specific ones.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, but again, people will fight you on that. They will fight you and die on that hill for their turn base.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm not willing to fight for a genre that I'm not very familiar with. You're talking to someone that the best game he could find to actually start playing RPGs was Persona 4, and that's it.
Oh yeah, and you know what? They got the Persona. Well, okay. So on that note, I guess the reason why I see some people are complaining about Final Fantasy and they refuse to acknowledge games like Persona is because it's still kind of got the whole high school thing going on for it.
I mean, Persona.
Maybe
Persona. It's so Final Fantasy.
Kind of like
I don't know how to describe it, but there is like, you know how there is like 3 kings of anime. Like you have the three kings of anime, which are usually Dragon Ball, Naruto, and One Piece, right? I think RPGs are like that. You have the 3 kings of RPGs, which are Persona, Dragon Quest, and Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy will be the equivalent of One Piece, while Persona will be the equivalent of Naruto in terms of length and how many games you have to play through to get basically all the lore that you want from out of all of them. And the one that keeps themselves traditionally are usually the longest running one. That's kind of a reason why I think they are complaining about it, because Final Fantasy is the longest running RPG series there is alongside Dragon Quest. And Dragon Quest, it's not switching compared to Final Fantasy, so it's kind of like a shock, switch.
So the funny thing is about Dragon Quest, they did try to change.
Yeah.
At least once they tried to change. They were, I think it was 7. I think it was the one with the purple shirt wearing protagonist. Either way, who looked like Trunks. Either way, they were going to try to make that one to an action one, and hell rained down upon them.
I mean, that's the one who got in Smash. Like, that was the first base version of the character in Smash. So yeah.
Yeah, they wanted to make that one to an action one.
Yeah.
They were not allowed to. The community was like, they fought hard to keep that game turn-based. And then, all right, damn, okay, fine, we'll keep it turn-based. We'll change the system. Jesus. They did not want that the one to change.
Yeah, by that yeah, but by that point, we're talking Dragon Quest, a series that has been an RPG since the very beginning, and they were trying to do that on one of the latest ones. Games that actually switched to a completely different genre and actually succeeded was actually someone that was the exact opposite. They started as an action game, but they went to an RPG. Yakuza notwithstanding.
Yep.
They were the ones that actually, well, people were pushy about it. Like, yeah, Yakuza is an action game and stuff like that. But Yakuza has had the same protagonist for who knows how long. Like, since the PS2 we're talking, to all the way to 2016 or 2015, whenever Yakuza 6 came out. For a new protagonist, I think it's fair to say that a new playstyle is it's needed.
Yeah. Though at the same time, at the other side of that field, when it comes to like Dragon Quest, isn't like a different story each game, kind of like Final Fantasy?
Dragon Quest, Persona, and Final Fantasy have all of that in common. Every single game, it's a completely different protagonist in a completely different setting. Except for Persona. Persona, it's more or less similar settings, but they are completely different characters in completely different places. Like, you have Persona 3 being on a high school most of the time, and the RPG exploration part of it being at night on a tower. In Persona 4, you have to enter the TV, but it's on a small town. And in Persona 5, you have this big city, but I don't know how the fuck they enter Mementos, but that's how it is.
See, so that's what I was thinking. Is like they want to.
Yeah.
In fact, I don't know where I heard it from, but I heard that the next Dragon Quest they're going to try again to make it action. I don't know if it's going to work.
I mean, if they do, I'll be more willing to actually try it. But if they don't, then fuck it, I'll try it. I like Dragon Quest because of Dragon Ball's art style. They are the only RPG that it still keeps it up. Although, I don't know how it's going to feel without Toriyama, though.
Yeah.
It's going to be the first one without him.
Yeah, dang.
Yeah.
I mean, they got people who can mimic the art style, but it's more than just the art style that really makes it when it comes to Toriyama. He just has a way of telling stories.
Oh, yeah.
That's fun. I mean, I'm sure they got people who can mimic the art style pretty well.
Oh, yeah, there is.
So it might not be so different.
There's a lot of people. You're talking about someone that was beloved by the entire planet, and there were a lot of artists that got inspired by him that can actually mimic his art style to a T. So there is artists out there that can do that job.
So
it's not going
I think
to be
the look is going. It might be missing something like the spirit. Just the fact that we know.
Yeah.
Will probably kind of change the feeling of it.
Yeah.
But hopefully it still will.
Whoever gets in charge of doing the art for the next Dragon Quest or any project that had Toriyama's art involved, they are going to do a good job because they most likely are going to respect Toriyama's memory to a T for sure. I trust. Absolutely.
Which is why, they definitely are.
Yep.
Like, I'm. We'll see though. It's just so much that's going on. All right. So I think we covered all the things that we talked about from fighting games. we went to RPGs.
Yeah, we went all over the place, but yeah. Oh, also, just one little tidbit before we go throwing it back to fighting games. Dissidia, we need a new one. That's it. That's all I need.
God,
to
yes, yes.
We didn't use the CD of
God.
Final Fantasy with the newer guys too. Like we need to include them.
Yes, dude. Okay,
Fucking
bro, don't get me started on this city. I might go on a rant. I'm just
Yeah,
saying,
no.
it's crazy. It's crazy
No.
that we never got another one. The one that we got was a complete downgrade.
Mm.
And because of how bad that one was, it feels like they're afraid to make another Dissidia, which could easily sell if they done the PSP version. That's all I'm saying. I just make us another Dissidia. Just look at the PSP version, see why it did well, and copy that. Just copy that.
Copy that or make it better.
I mean, of course. Well, yeah. I mean, that goes without saying. I would just say, don't do the arcade version again. Don't. That one was bad. I'm sorry. It had the heart in it. The remixes were kind of fun, but unfortunately, the gameplay was booty butt cheeks. I gave it a try. I gave it a fair shake, and all I remember is constantly getting jumped by 2 other dudes, while my teammate were jumping the other dude. I hate it. I hate it so much.
Yeah.
God damn it. Not to mention all the stuff that they took away from the combat itself. To make it more homogenized. I don't know if I said the word. To make it more stale. Anyway, yeah, they botched it. Yeah. They botched it so hard. And it sucks because we have so many cool characters that came out since then. I want Jack from Stranger of Paradise to be in a Dissidia game.
Oh.
I don't know if you know who that is. All I know is he's probably one of the best Final Fantasy characters that's been made in a second because he is a no silliness type of guy, despite him kind of being silly. He is just straight up, I got hands and I'm going to throw it at you. You're going to try a monologue? No, we're fighting. You see that dragon that's trying to eat me? No, I'm going to instead take his mouth, shut it closed, and I'm going to toss it across this goddamn cliff. I like Jack. I love that man.
Oh, yeah. Fucking, there was a lot of Final Fantasy games since the last Dissidia, so there is a lot to pick from.
Yes.
So
yes. Clive would be amazing in the Final Fantasy game. If Jack would be amazing in the Final Fantasy game.
Fucking fighting the Final Fantasy 1 boss with Jack. Oh my
yes.
God.
Freaking. And you know what? Even if we don't get like a Dissidia, like an arena fighter, I would actually be up for a Dissidia Arc System fighter.
I was about to say, yeah. Give a traditionally Japanese franchise to fucking Arc System, they're going to do wonders with it. Fucking
I would
Granblue,
be so down with that.
Granblue and DNF Duel are the funnest
DNF Duel unfortunately kind of got screwed over.
Okay.
I don't remember.
DNF Duel would have do well if they got the same treatment as Granblue, like a new release of the game with all the DLC in one, plus a few new characters. Because DNF Duel has, I think, the same issue as the original Granblue Fantasy Versus. The release
not enough characters.
Not enough characters, I think. But whatever. I might be talking out of my ass. Maybe the problem with DNF Duel is something different.
There was a few characters, and the fact that the devs weren't really talking to the fan base to make people like know that they're going to make new DLC for it, or that they were even still working on the game, didn't help. It definitely needs some system upgrades, because for how crazy the combat system was in that game, it felt like your characters were too slow to deal with a lot of it. Yeah, reworking the combat system. As much as I love spamming specials one after the other and doing a cool combo, that cool combo doesn't do shit. I know that game was fun. I love the Crusader. Hitting people with the power of Christ. That was fun. Man, I wanted that game to do well. Yeah. But unfortunately, they kind of screwed the pooch on that one, and I think that the DNF Duel devs are probably not going to try to do another fighter for a second. They're now trying to do Souls-likes. Oh my god. Okay. So to be fair, I played the first Berserker Kazan.
Oh yeah. I played it. I played that one. That was fun. That's the first Souls-like that I can actually say it was actually fun. I never finished it because I don't like losing that much. But yeah, if you have enough patience, it's a good time.
Oh, absolutely. The last boss was a piece of crap. I hate him. But okay. To be fair, I played it. Apparently the great sword is probably the hardest weapon to use in that game.
Yeah.
So I did a whole great sword run.
I can already tell you the reason why I made it as far as I did. It's because I was using the default weapon that you get at the beginning of the game, like the dual wielding sword.
Yeah. No,
it's sort of nice.
Bro. Okay, so you missed out too. The spear is the most broken weapon in any damn game.
Yeah,
I'm gonna tell you right now.
The spear seems like the most broken weapon in that game, but I can just go bananas. I can go ham on the dual wielding, which is funny.
Yeah, it is crazy how the dual is good too. It's really good, and the spear is broken.
Yeah,
and I'm sitting here with my great sword fighting everything, suffering because I start fighting mages and they don't want to fight you. So
yeah, you're playing the closest thing to a berserk game you'll ever have with a great sword.
That's exactly why I stuck with the great sword. I was like, this is me playing as Guts and I'm having fun. Oh no, I'm playing as Guts, but I don't have his speed. What's happening?
Yeah. Sorry, you haven't went through beating the shit out of 100 soldiers with one great sword. You didn't have that training arc on you, so you're slow.
Yes. and then I did a whole new game plus run. Off stream, and I used the spear, and I'm like, why is this game 10 times easier? I am mad. It is that busted.
It do be like that, yeah. Alright.
But yeah, they're probably gonna focus on Souls likes. Despite their Kazan not meeting their expectations per se, it did sell well enough that they want to continue trying to make more games to get people to play Dungeon Pirates. Cool. So I'm assuming they're probably gonna try more Souls-like. If they don't do another Souls-like, they're probably gonna go in Devil May Cry.
Oh, they
probably using
they do
the mercenary or whatever. I don't know the characters.
Gunslinger. Give me a DMC with a gunslinger or a fucking beat 'em up Yakuza style with some of the other melee-oriented characters like the fighter or the grappler.
That's exactly what they're probably going to try to do because they want to continue expanding on that franchise and getting more people to play it. Yeah. So it's like, what's the next best thing after this? Probably a Devil May Cry game, probably a beat 'em up. I hope you don't do an RPG because you probably don't know what you do. Well, no, I mean, no, it's not RPG. Don't do an RPG.
I mean,
just experiment a little bit.
Yeah. Anyway,
I'm sure.
Gale.
Yes.
Anything you want to say before we go out?
Yes. Please, if you guys haven't, subscribe to Denarius Den. He's a good content creator. He's a good talker. And I enjoy that he had me over here to talk with some fighting games with him. He's a cool dude. Give him your love. And if you want, because I know some people get mad when you don't talk about yourself.
Go for it.
You can follow me. My name is Gelga Dude. I'm on YouTube and I'm on Twitch. And you'll probably see me on the Bird site in Blue Sky.
Yes.
If you like my commentary, follow me there.
Yeah, go for it. Give him a follow. He's a really funny creator, and their streams is also really fun. So go for it. And yeah. Any raid targets you have on your end?
Raid targets. Let's see. None of my usual dudes are on the streams like action things, so I don't. Do you have anybody?
I think I have one. Let me see what they're doing. Because last time I tried to raid somebody was just a black screen. They were, I'm pretty sure, not aware they were actually live still. Oh, this person is playing actual Nier Automata. Cool.
There you go.
So let's rate Pio. But yeah, thank you, Gail, for being here with me. It was fun. I'm most likely going to reach you out for the anniversary of Street Fighter. We need to check those themes again. I actually ask you to talk about it now because who knows? Maybe some of them either grow on you differently by that point.
Yeah.
Like,
oh my god, yeah, we definitely need to go through the CVS, the Capcom Fighting Collection, too. We need to go through those musics and just like talk about them.
Yeah, those two. That's going to be so Whew. But yeah, I'll be seeing you guys on the other side next weekend. And when is your next stream or next time you're gonna appear live?
Probably next Saturday. So probably next Saturday. I'm focused on YouTube stuff, but yeah, next Saturday I'll probably be streaming around 4 Central. So if you want to check me out then on Twitch.
All right, and that's it for us, everybody. Thank you so much for showing up, and I'll be seeing you all on the other side. Later.
GG's.